And welcome back, guys. What is up? Back with a new live stream this time to discuss about Manchester United. It's your boy Nathan, and we have a guest this time, and we will get into that just in a moment. But before I introduce my guest, we are going to discuss about Manchester United specifically today, and nothing else, unless it leeways appropriately into something else. So we are only going to do Manchester United today, and the state of affairs it's in. Uh, with that being said, please, Delvin, introduce yourself, if you don't mind.
First of all, thank you so much, Nathan. I appreciate it, and thank you for having me on the stream. For all your viewers and subscribers, my name is Delwyn, and it's a pleasure to be here. I've been a Man United fan for the past 18 years, and the past 10 years, like Nathan himself knows very well, have been some sort of footballing purgatory for us. And this is a start of a little bit of a good step in the right direction. But let's see how things go. And we have the entire Premier League season to look forward to. And while I'm cautiously optimistic for the Premier League season, let's hope that the transfer window ends as well as we began the transfer window. That's all I'll say for now, at least.
It's funny you say you're cautiously optimistic because I do not feel this way at all. I We'll obviously get into it, but I don't feel that way at all at this point of time. And actually, this is actually why I wanted to do a live stream, because I've been basically waiting and biding my time. A lot of creators, they react when things happen straight away, right? Because
Yeah.
mainly because of the algorithm, but also everyone is excited about the new era per se. And I will happily say I am not excited, because
Okay.
I think if I were to be absolutely honest, there has actually been nothing to really determine positivity at this point of time.
All right.
So we will get into it obviously, but the first things first. In fact, Rohit has already basically started there. Hello, Danish. It has been a while. Don't worry, we are going to be back on track next week onwards with more videos than ever. All I want for the coming phase is to finish above slot. Yeah, I will not be predicting that when we do a Premier League predictions. I'll give you a little spoiler. Uh, but basically, I wanted to start with Delvin. First of all, first and foremost, how do you feel so far with whatever information we currently have?
So let's look at the positive side. All right. I've gone through each and every move that we've been talking about. So let's talk about the done deals first. Let's talk about Joshua Zirkzee and Lenny Euro a little bit. All right. So the biggest problem that we had last season was our inability to finish our chances, and the reluctance of our midfield and our attackers to pass to Rasmus Højlund. That was one of our biggest deficiencies in the season last year, and that reflected in the amount of goals that we scored in all competitions. I'm not taking the Premier League as a sample size. I'm talking about all the competitions in general, because whatever goals that Rasmus Højlund scored from, I can guarantee you that 75 to 80% of the goals that he scored were basically of his own doing. And it wasn't exactly an assist that was provided to him. And a striker like Rasmus, you need service. You need to provide him with service. Like a striker like him will absolutely thrive in a system where where the balls are put into him into the box. He's your classic poacher. He has every aspect of the game that is required to be a bona fide Premier League success. And that is where Joshua Zirkzee's signing steps in the sense that he is a little bit of a unicorn, in the sense that he can dribble. He's very adept with the ball at his feet. He's a 6'4" target man as well. So while his goal output last year for Bologna was not exactly something that we can gloat upon, I think the reason that Bologna qualified for the Champions League in the first place is that it was a unified effort. Like every aspect of their game was very crucial in their finishing fourth in the Serie A. If correct me if I'm wrong, I do believe that they finished fourth. I'm not exactly sure though. But the entire aspect of each of their department, whether it's the defense, whether it's the midfield, or the attack, had an integral role to play. So that could perhaps be one of the statements why we can ignore the sample size that we have, but he's a very very good signing. As far as Euro is concerned, he's arguably one of the best under 21 defenders in European football at the moment.
So just before Bologna finished fifth, but they are making the champions. They are making the Champions League because of the new.
Yeah, because of the coefficient rules. All right, got it. Fair enough. Fair enough. So I'm happy with both of the signings. And as far as the other discussion that is going around, in the sense that we walked away from the Ugarte deal, we are not willing to pay the 70 million that Everton are asking. I think it's a welcome change, because I think for the past decade, the biggest factor that has been hindering our transfer business is the fact that we are willing to pay over the odds. I think you will be very familiar about the United tax that has been spoken about time and time again, where a perfectly average player is being overpaid for. Let's take Antony for example. I think you and I will both be very unanimous on the fact that Antony is definitely not a €100 million player, but because we were, whatever the circumstances were, we ended up paying that particular price. For
Yeah,
him.
I think with the Antony thing, I have to. It's not. People always say we have overpaid for him, right? But if you follow the story closely, he was promised at 50 million he will be sold, and then
Yeah,
it became a whole to do, and then he went on Romano and all this. Same way we paid extra for Lisandro Martinez, even like it was being dragged out, and we caved.
yeah.
Actually,
So
we didn't.
that
Yeah, but the thing is, people only see the final result. They don't actually, like, I don't know if a lot of people know the backstory of the fact that he had to go on a strike because he was given a word, and then
yeah, I
they
think both
changed
the
it.
yeah, I think both the players did. I think both Lisandro and Antony. But I'm not against the Antony signing. I'll
No,
just
no,
make my
I am against it, but I feel like a lot of people don't know the backstory because a lot of them don't follow United, which is fine.
yeah.
But at the end of the day, like when it comes to like spending, because a lot of people throw it on Eric Ten Hag that we spent 80 million on him, but it is partly his fault, but it's also partly the fact that we could have got him for 50, but we kept dragging
Yeah,
it.
exactly.
On the other end, Ajax also sold all their players, so they were starting to get short staffed because a lot of their players went on free, and already a bunch of players were signed with other teams.
Yeah,
So they also needed more money to fund whatever they are doing, which is like it's them looking after themselves. They don't care about Manchester United, right? Like it's
yeah. But
they are in business for themselves.
yeah,
So
even if we discount the backstory that Lisandro and Antony have, I think the last decade has given us multiple examples of us overplaying for a particular player. Harry Maguire is the biggest example. I think you would agree as well that he's definitely not an 85 million defender. So yeah, that smirk on your face tells me all that we have to. So I think the United
I would say Harry Maguire was definitely worth 80 as compared to Anthony. I feel like at least we got something out of Maguire in the end.
I mean,
I think Anthony is only staying on now because Eric Ten Hag is going to look really bad if he sells him.
yeah. So
Whereas
this is where we might have a potential. Let's agree to
no,
disagree moment.
I'm not saying he's worth 80 million. I'm saying we at least got our bang for our buck. We will not get our bang for our buck for Anthony. Anthony will not make it past the next season. We'll be
All
selling
right.
him at a loss.
Yeah, that's a pretty fair assumption, and I think I'm somewhat with you on the same page on that. But the hopeless romantic, I think the hopeless romantic that is there in all of our heads and minds, somewhere in my psyche, I still somehow believe that this could probably be the season that Antony has a redemption arc. I'll give you my explanation for that. So
Hold
one of
on,
the
before you explain something to me. Have you for the last 3 seasons? For the last 2 seasons, I've heard he's going to improve his right foot. Have you seen anything in the preseason that shows he's been working on his weak foot?
I think he's barely played the preseason.
No, but
I'm not.
whatever you've seen of him, have you seen him
No,
even
so,
like
so
go
far,
down the
so far,
byline?
so far, no. So for me, what I feel is the best position that currently Antony can play is left back, and that is an absolute indictment on the amount of money that was splashed on him. For me and you to talk about the fact that he's going to start next season as a backup left back. That's how that's how bad last season has been. Now I'm not going to defend him or anything about the fact like that, but what I'm trying to say is if a player is having his own personal demons, like the allegations that came out last year as far as Antony is concerned, so three different women came and accused him of what they accused him of. I think we and all the viewers that are watching know what I'm talking about. So from that, two of them have already retracted their statement, saying and it has been proved that two out of the three allegations were false, and Antony was just framed for them. The third allegation that is there, I'm not exactly sure what the current status of that is, but as far as I know and what I've read about is that there is investigation still going on, but it is exclusively related to only the Brazilian law and Brazilian
Yeah.
jurisdiction. So that does not involve the United Kingdom in any way or any fact. So now, obviously, if you're a 22 or 23-year-old, one of the most expensive acquisitions in United's recent history, you had a very decent first season. All right, you had 17 or 18 goals or assists in the first season. So you did not exactly have a bad start to your career at Man United per se. You were crucial to one of the biggest matches in our season where you scored the winner against Barca in the Europa League round of 16. I think Danish himself has pointed that out in the comments. So not exactly brace. He scored one goal. That was a left-footed long range in the 6-3 loss in the 2022-23 season. He has one goal. I don't think he has a brace. But he had a very decent first season. So he was expected to improve on that. I myself had him improving on that output in the second season. But then what happened. And obviously, it's very difficult to play through something that you've not done in the first place. And obviously, I'm siding with him from a mental point of view here. I am very vocal about the fact that you are not. It was a very poor season for Antony. Let me call a spade for a spade. Antony's season was very poor. But even in that poor season, I mean, he did score a right foot goal against Liverpool. Nate, let
Yeah,
me
no,
just
no, no. See, let's see that the problem with this is right. Like we'll have moments we'll never forget, right? Arsenal debut goal and all that. But at the end of the day, right, there are actually talented players that are just not getting game time because Eric Ten Hag is trying to save his ass. Let's be
yeah,
really
that's
real.
that's one way of that's one way of looking at it. Sure, I agree.
No, because there is on a no tangible way. Can you tell me he's better than Pelestri or Amad Diallo?
No,
I mean, Pelestri.
he's definitely not better than Ahmad for sure. I for
How
this
is he? How is
season,
he better? How is he better than? Okay, a lot of people say Pelestri is going to go. Ten Hag doesn't rate him, but then I can argue with you saying Ten Hag didn't rate Diallo because he didn't. He barely played any games last season, and he
but
just
he
sat
was
on the
a
bench the whole time.
but he was injured for the first 4 months of the
Yeah, but
season
he was
also.
just
No,
sitting. But he was sitting on the bench. I mean, Kobe Mainu came straight away as soon as he was fit.
yeah. So here's what happened. Like obviously, the transition of Garna from left to right happened. Uh, so
I
I
actually
think
think I actually think Garnacho and Pelestri can play both sides because
uh,
the first preseason game of last season, no, the third preseason game of last season, Pelestri went from right to left.
yeah, he did.
Actually,
He did. So here's the issue. I think there are a lot of options on our right side. I'm very pissed off on a personal level that Sancho has been bought back. I did not want him in the side. I wanted him to be sold. I hope he's still sold before the end of the transfer window. I do not care that we incur a loss on. I do not care if we incur a loss on Jadon Sancho. I want him out of Dodge. I genuinely want him out of Dodge. You cannot you cannot go on strike for 4.5 months playing FIFA at your house and then come out in preseason saying that I'm back, I'm invested in the side. No, There is absolutely no way in God's green earth I'm having that. Absolutely not. I'm so sorry. I think this is one area that I would give Ten Hag absolute credit for, that he stuck on his guns and he made sure that Sancho was out until and unless he apologized. I do not know what happened in this particular off season, whether it was Sancho who apologized, whether it was Ineos who intervened into the two warring factions. I have absolutely no idea. But I do not want Sancho in the side come the first game week of the Premier League. Even if he's there, I rather hope that he's on the bench rather than starting that particular game.
Okay, fine. Yeah, we'll do something really controversial, right? Would you still get rid of Sancho if you know you have to keep Antony for one more season?
Yes.
So you're going to watch Antony play 38 games again.
I see the difference here, Nate, is that
No, I get why you don't want Sancho, but I mean, at the end of the day, we have to look out for our own club. If we don't finish in Champions League spots this season,
see, I am
mean-
absolutely on the same page with you as far as our end goals for the season is concerned, that we have to make the Champions League and for good measure either win the Europa League or defend our FA Cup or win both. That is dead set. All right, but at the same time, we always talk about the fact that we want players playing for the badge, right? We do, right? That's a big factor. Now, whatever Antony's flaws are, whether he's been a bag of ass or whatever, I'm sorry for my language. I hope
no, it's
that's
okay.
allowed.
We called him worse, actually.
Yeah, all right. So if he's been a bag of ass, it's fine. But at least he's willing to he's willing to work his ass off. I cannot say the same about Sancho. All right, I cannot. Even like hand on my heart, I can genuinely not say the same about Sancho, that he will actually give his 100% for the club when push comes to shove. Mm-hmm. If you can, with an iota of self-confidence, tell me that Sancho will give his 100% this time for the club, I would still not be able to believe in it, because I've seen enough last year. If you cannot have your manager criticize you for putting below 100% in training, you cannot be called a professional footballer. You cannot. Like, there has to be a level of professionalism to your game. At the end of the day, you and I, we both are employees for a certain organization. I think as employees of a certain organization, our job is to provide 100% output with whatever it is. Irrespective whether you're happy with your senior or whether you're not happy with your senior, you need to do your bit. Like, so that at the end of the day, if push comes to shove, you can walk out with your head held high, saying that you gave your all, even if things did not go your way. You cannot say the same thing for Sancho, but you can say that for Antony. Like, even if he was ass the entire season, yes, but you cannot slate him for lack of effort, is what I'm saying. And that is the only glimmer of hope that I'm holding to as far as Antony is concerned, that particular dedication could potentially be the difference between a redemption season and perhaps maybe going out of Dodge.
Hey Sheldon, been a while. I'll be honest with you. I don't like many of the decisions Eric Ten Hag has made. There are some that have hurt me very personally, and I really try to put that to the side when I talk about it, because at the end of the day, I can't really get back that time or get back those trans.
May I know what are the decisions that you're talking about?
Listen, I think David De Gea shouldn't have gone. Simple as that. Because you don't give the goal. So okay, you know what? I won't do this again. I've done this the whole season. I'm not going to do it again. But
I just want to know what are the decisions. I don't want.
Okay. So we were promised style of play, didn't get it. We were promised played from the back. We sold our best player in our worst decade in the last 50 years. Yes, I'll say it till the day I die. He's been our best player in the worst decade in the last 50 years since we were relegated in the 70s. And I'll have that argument with anyone. And I didn't even watch football in the 90s. I'll just have that argument, because at the end of the day, the main thing is to show up and play. David De Gea, for whatever his faults are, he showed up and played when allegedly world-class players didn't show up, World Cup winners didn't show up, whatever else you put tags on them didn't show up, and he did. And he was changed for a man who talks a lot, by the way. He talks way too much, Andre Onana, in my personal opinion. He doesn't do a lot, he talks a lot. He's made some idiotic mistakes,
Fair.
and he's made a statement yesterday that has actually made me more enraged, because he admitting to being possibly frivolous with the ball, considering we didn't make the knockout stages of the Champions League because he couldn't save direct free kicks that bounced in front of him. It's a
Okay.
crazy statement to say. I get confidence and all, but you need to calm down. Like even in the Arsenal penalty shootout, he was just over egging the pudding with the pointing and all. I mean, what are you doing?
He
Like,
did. He did save 2 penalties though.
I believe he saved one and one went out, if I remember correctly.
A save is a save though.
No, but
He
he
did
didn't
save
actually
one,
touch the ball, right? He didn't
but he
touch the
did save.
ball though, right?
He did
No,
save one.
he saved one, but like why do that? Just save, right? Like do you see Emiliano Martinez does it? I would take Martinez to save a penalty over everybody in the world right now.
All
You
right.
see Dibu
So
Martinez doing it.
all right. So
Wait,
let me
hold on.
play devil's. Okay.
Wait,
Okay.
hold on.
Oh,
I was
fair, fair,
giving
fair, fair,
no,
fair,
I
fair.
was
Oh,
giving
all right.
you
All right.
that
Yeah.
was
Yeah. Sure.
just
Sure. Sure.
that
Go
was
on. Go on.
just the
Go on.
rant. I was giving you the
Yeah.
other
Yeah.
reasons.
All right. Okay. Okay. Okay.
The constant Anthony pick over anybody else, quite
Okay.
literally anybody else. Um, the loaning of Alvaro Fernandez twice failed loan attempts. So, if you remember correctly, he loaned Alvaro Fernandez after both our left backs were injured, which makes no sense to me because he used Alvaro Fernandez the entire preseason. So we
Mm-hmm.
ended up having no left back till January because he decided to put Alvaro Fernandez on loan after both our left backs got injured. Alvaro
Fair.
Fernandez left the second day before our transfer window closed. Our left backs were already injured by then, both of
Yeah.
them,
Okay.
right? If
All
they
right.
were promised to come back by Jan, send Alvaro Fernandez on loan in Jan. We had no left back. I mean,
Yeah.
people were saying this is not his call. This has to be his call. It's players. How can it
Yeah.
not be his call?
Understood. Understood.
So,
Yeah.
so that's another thing. The other thing was the constant use of Rashford when again completely not informed, completely selfish, not adding to his game like by adding some crosses in. We have a striker finally who's tall and can head, and no crosses came in from both ends. Constantly using Anthony and Rashford until Garnacho just went, hold my beer. I'm going to shake everything up. Up until that point of time, it was just Anthony Rashford, Anthony Rashford. It was getting to the point where I thought he actually wants to get sacked because the
All
way
right.
he was behaving was, I don't care how many points we lose, but I am still going to do this. And I
Okay.
think that is one of the reasons we ended up eighth. I actually think we would end up lower if we didn't actually start making changes to the wings. I really do. I
But
think if
all
we
right.
didn't start
Okay.
forcing Garnacho in, I think we would have finished lower.
Okay.
So,
And
so, so my
these
thing is, yeah, these
that's
these are yeah these are my issues. Yeah. And now we have now we are selling Palestri, but again sticking. It's like how many talented footballers have to leave before Anthony is deemed persona non grata by the club? Because you spending money on him shouldn't just be the reason he stays here. That's why we maligned Maguire for so many years. It's not his fault that he's on 80 mil, right? But we still blame Maguire every time he made a mistake. We still lambasted him every time he made a mistake. So why not keep the same energy for
yeah.
Anthony and actually bench him?
Let me just say that I was not one of the majority to slate Maguire for every mistake that he made. For me, Maguire and Antony are both victims of their inflated price tags. Let's just get one thing clear, and I agree with you that we did get a fair value for money for Maguire for the first 2 seasons that he played. That's 1920 and 2021. I think most of the United fans who are calling for Maguire's head right now were the very same United fans who cried when Maguire got injured in the game against Aston Villa. That was 3 weeks before the Europa final, and already had written their obituaries with the fact that we would lose the Europa League final because Maguire was injured. Let's just get that thing straight. So I genuinely did not understand. Why is the criticism on Maguire so much? Is it because he's English? Is it because he's 85
I
Indian
I
or
I
whatever?
actually think he has made terrible defensive errors since he's
Yeah, he
been here.
has. Yeah, he has. But that still
That's
does
it.
not.
Like
Yeah,
I
okay.
mean, like
Criticism is fair.
last season, I think Twalumba will agree with me because Twalumba is quite Twalumba is quite critical because he and I understand it because even I've gotten to that point after this particular part of the transfer window. I've actually also had enough to. I didn't have enough the whole season. Twalumba was calling me out for being positive like every game. I was trying to find positives here and there. But even I've like honestly had enough. Last season, Maguire was actually good. I don't
He
think
was.
anyone's talking
He
about
was.
last season. I
He
don't.
was very good.
But the problem is that Maguire only came to play because he's sixth choice and all our defenders got injured.
Were injured.
This is
Yeah, exactly.
this is the important part here because we wouldn't have seen Maguire if no one was injured.
Yeah.
You have to take it into account because again he's another person that has overstayed his welcome, quote unquote, money, wages, however you'd like to look at it, transfer fee, whatever. And the only way he saw light of day last year because we had what can only be described as maybe the worst injury season of all time. So if that's the way you have to get a good performance out of a player when all your better players are injured, I don't think that's a good thing
But
personally.
I don't think that's Maguire's fault either because
It's not
you're
Maguire's fault. It's not
yeah.
Maguire's fault, but we would have never seen. Let's all be real. We would have not seen him or Evans at all.
Yes, all right. But for example, let's just assume had we sold Maguire, all right, had that deal with West Ham gone through, as far as Maguire is concerned,
Yeah.
do you think we would have an additional centre back to cater for the loss of defensive personnel that we had? I think we need to look at it from that side as
So
well.
so I so
Yeah.
I was on this thing where we should have kept Alvaro Fernandez or Bennett and Fish, and we had Kamwala. So we had a left back and we had two centre backs. If we didn't use them, we could have easily sent them on loan in January. The thing is, we over egged the pudding. We just threw everyone on loans. We just sent everybody on loans. Didn't predict we were going to get injuries. Got injuries. Didn't have players in those positions. Had to give Johnny Evans a contract out of nowhere. I'm pretty sure no one thought we were going to give Johnny Evans a
Yeah,
contract.
neither did I. Neither did
Yeah,
I.
so
Neither did
so
I.
you see what I'm saying. All these things just show up out of nowhere, and then everyone acts like it's a master stroke. It isn't though. It's like this is all injury related issues.
Yeah,
Our positives,
I don't think a
and our
biased.
negatives are
Yeah,
because of injuries. I don't think
I
it's
don't.
actually out of design, if that
Yes,
makes
also,
sense.
I don't think, I think a lot of United fans will agree with you on the fact that we know that Evans and Maguire only played because majority of our first choice centre backs were injured perpetually. And also that they were our best players because of the fact that we had to majority of the time play a style. I'm not sure why I'm calling this a style, but this was the recurring theme of the way we played last year. So
Yeah.
I think I'm more often than not inclined to call it a style last year, where the best qualities of Evans and Maguire came to the fore. That is just clear the ball out of dodge whenever you have it.
Yeah.
So I think those are the primary reasons that Evans and Maguire came out with a lot of credit and deservedly so.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying that Ten Hag is not to blame or he's a saint and all this. Like, he's made mistakes tactically from a personnel point of view. I'm not letting him off the hook. There were a lot of mistakes that he made. Playing a high press and a low block at the same time is just a recipe for disaster. I think you agree with it as well. And the players that he was trying to get out positively last year, the likes of Scotty, who who emerged as one of our Man Fridays last season.
Yeah.
But I think what we are trying to do this year is that there is a significant amount of dilution as far as Ten Hag's power in the transfer market is concerned. I think that is the right way forward. I think for the past 2 years that Ten Hag has been manager, there's one confirmed analysis that I can make is that Ten Hag's talent ID is not it. It's not it. Yeah, I'll just go out there and say Ten Hag's talent ID is not it. I think the recruitment part has to specifically be done by the recruitment team. The players that fit Eric Ten Hag's profile here have to be determined by the players. And Ten Hag in turn has to make a style that accommodates all these players. That is how it should work, and that is what I feel will end up giving us a positive season.
I can push back and ask you, why get rid of Fernandez? Why get rid of Pelestri on loan? Why get rid of De Gea? Why didn't he just make do with last season with the players we had and make a so my thing was always, I was promised that this coach in particular, from all the fancy YouTube channels that talk about tactics, I don't care. I only want to win. I don't care how we win. Twalumba hates it when I say that, but it's true. I told Twalumba like
Yeah,
mid-season,
same.
I take 38 1-0 if it means we win the league. I really would. But just for argument's sake, right? Because everyone likes to make football sound more complicated than it is. I was promised a coach that is very tactically adept and very able to configure formations and style of play based on the players he had. I had some examples like Dusan Tadic, Southampton washout, 40 years old, wins the league. Changed from left wing to center forward. Then I had a Sebastian Haller drop out from West Ham, 40 goal season, whatever.
No,
Like whatever.
I think
My
Haller was ruined by West Ham. Haller, and I think West Ham right now is I'm sorry to go off topic here. You did mention Haller, so I'm just saying that West
No, no,
Ham
I'm saying
currently.
what I am saying what I saw in the disc. So what happened is I saw these videos because I don't watch the Dutch league. So I
All right,
wanted
fair
to
enough.
know what we are getting, right? That's the only way I can tell. So I
Yeah,
was promised a tactically flexible coach, and I didn't see any of it for 2 seasons. So either those people who are a very big channel, I don't want to say the name because it's not really relevant here.
are we talking
Um,
about a certain gold here? Certain standard of gold?
No. It's a big channel though. It's a decent channel. It's a big size channel for what they do. But my thing is, this is what was promised roughly, and this is not what we got at all. So I got David De Gea out. Andre Onana will play from the back. I saw Andre Onana hoof the whole season. I saw him hoof the whole season. Whether Varane and Martinez were playing or not, I saw him hoof the whole season. So I'm like, wait, hold on a minute. We just gave away our best player ever in the last 10 years. Sorry, in the last 10 years to hoof
He is.
anyway.
He is.
I'm just
He
it's
is.
that's not my point. My point is just to hoof it anyway. That's my point. We gave him away just to hoof it anyway. I'm like, those saves in the Champions League, David De Gea would do with his eyes closed. The balls that went under Onana's body, he would have done it with his
Would you?
eyes closed.
I know your love for De Gea, but hand on your
No,
heart,
no,
do you think would?
I'm just being honest. We gave
Yeah,
away
so
our goalkeeper
yes,
for
fair.
a goalkeeper that was so supposed to distribute, but he was hoofing the whole season too. So I
But
don't get what we got.
do you think De Gea saves that penalty last minute against Copenhagen?
You know what? Even if he doesn't, he saves the 3 goals that go in from Galatasaray. That's the game we lost in the end because
All right.
Rashford got a red. Because Rashford got a red, and the
That
free kick
wasn't.
went
Yeah,
over.
I don't think
It
that
wasn't a
wasn't a
red.
red. Yeah, it
It
wasn't. It
wasn't a
wasn't.
red.
Yeah.
It wasn't. But I'm just
Thank you for agreeing to me about something for the first
no,
time
no,
in
no,
33
no,
minutes.
no. Listen, I'm just saying. It's like
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough.
I was
I was just trying to make the mood light.
I think, yeah, of course, yeah. My thing is the frustration is I was promised something and I still haven't seen it after 2 years. I've heard injuries as an issue. I've heard
Which is
players that
right.
can't play the
I think
style and
I think
well,
44 injuries. I think 44 injuries at defense. I think you have to give
okay,
a little. I'm not telling you to
okay,
give the
no,
entire
fair
benefit of
enough.
doubt. Yeah.
No, you can give him the benefit. That there's no doubt about it. But again, I was promised based on the players, we'll get a style accordingly. So, like, I would assume, like, if our players are injured, we'll play differently based on the players we have fit. I mean, I'm
You
not saying we are going
believe
to. I'm not saying we're going to win 3-4-0, but I thought we might be playing differently because of the injuries, if we have to. Because
you believe that the loss of form of some of our players who went on absolute mad streaks last year, Casemiro, Rashford in particular, do you think would you blame that on the manager as well, or what exactly? Like if you see the 2022-23 Casemiro, all right, he was brilliant. Like, we were literally having conversations about the fact that he's arguably the best
Yeah.
CDM in the Premier League, and we spoke about in length about the fact that the one game that he did have a lot of suspensions, but the one game that he missed, the 3-2 loss against Arsenal at the Emirates, we were very confident about the fact that had he played in that game, we would have won it. Do you think? And look at the Casemiro 23-24. I mean,
No. Form definitely. Form. You're right. Form obviously played a factor. There's no doubt about it.
yes.
But I mean, like,
I'm just saying, can you blame that on the manager?
no,
Though
no,
I
no.
don't think loss of
You can't blame that on the manager. But what you can do is you can stop picking them.
but
You can stop picking those players.
who do you pick in his stead? Who do
Okay,
you pick
okay.
in his
So
stead?
Rashford finished
I'm
third,
talking
went
about
from
Casemiro.
no,
And CDM.
but we're talking about all their forms, right? Like
Yeah, all right, all
Rashford,
of them. Yeah,
Rashford, we finished third because of
Rashford,
Rashford, didn't we? Yeah.
Rashford, Casemiro. I think the other
But
guy who was
I
a
only
form
think
last year
Varane, and I think Varane when he was playing was good.
was brilliant. Varane and Lisandro,
Whenever he played.
I'm going to keep them immune, because whenever they played, they were at their absolute best. They were
Yeah.
they're absolute monsters at the back. So I'm going to give Varane and Licha the benefit of doubt here, because
fair.
they were our best. That defensive partnership was mint. Let's mint.
I agree.
Yeah. But these two key players, Casemiro and Rashford, like apart from Varane, Licha, and Luke Shaw, all three those who were chronically injured last season, these two were the players who emerged with the most credit. These
Definitely.
two players were expected to take these performances a level, because Rashford got a much improved contract after a rightfully deserved season, mind you. He had a brilliant season. He deserved a contract in the back of that season. 30 goals and 11 assists or 12 assists, whatever he did, is not something that you. Yeah. So he deserved a contract. We were expected that they would take their games a level above. And I think Ten Hag himself was very vocal about the fact that he expected big things from both of them. But it did not materialize. So, like you said, we would talk about replacing them. So, who would you replace them with?
So I mean, listen, if you remember clearly, when Matic was injured, we had to put someone else there, whether he could fit the style or not. So I think worst case scenario is we have to do that, because if Casemiro is going to be actually a hindrance to the team, then anybody is better than Casemiro. Like even in the Liverpool game, I saw him literally pass the ball to Liverpool players at least 3 times.
Was ass.
No, but see, even if let's just say he wasn't, let's just say he was all right overall in 90. I'm just saying, like, at some point of time, you have to go, this is not working, get someone else. Like whoever's on the bench, get him and try to like change the formation or make someone else play the role or do something. But if you play the same player that is clearly not in form, you're just going to get more matches of him not in form. You're not going to get miraculous comebacks. For example, he kept playing Rashford. He went from 30 to 6 goals. He didn't eventually get better in the season. He didn't. He just kept playing. So what I'm saying is do something. Don't just keep playing them. Do something. Anything. Anything else would be fine. But do something. Like even if it doesn't work, no, we can at least tell, and we can at least, the funny thing is, if we did something, we can actually absolve Ten Hag and say you tried something and it didn't work. But if you keep playing the same player and it keeps failing, you're the only one who's going to get flack, because at the end of the day, you pick the players. You can't avoid that. That's the one thing you can't avoid.
Yeah.
You can't avoid that
Totally.
no matter what you do.
Totally.
So my thing is, do something. But nothing was done for, and the worst thing was, towards the end of the season, it was almost like I was watching Southgate manage my club. The substitutions were going later and later into the game, and I'm like, wait, what's going on here? It's clearly not working, and you're taking longer to make the substitutions. You're going negatively,
And the thing that upset me or disappointed me as a fan in general was that these were the same areas that Ten Hag was acing in the first season. I think one thing that you could give credit for Ten Hag in his first season, that he aced his substitutions in his first season. Like whenever he bought those substitutions worked. Rashford, we all know about the fact that he overslept in that game before Wolves on New Year's. He was bought in, he scored the winner. Garnacho was used as an impact sub time and time again, and he always delivered with the goods. So whenever Ten Hag bought in those players, Sancho, for example, after that 3.5 month break that he was provided by the manager, the first game that he was bought in as a sub, he came in and he scored a goal. So the same thing that Ten Hag was actually credited for in that first season, where he got his substitutions right, were the exact same thing that he was getting flack for, only because he just kept pushing it. And that was a huge bone of contention for me too, because I wanted him to make those substitutions earlier. I wanted him to make them way earlier, but it came up ending way too late. And I'm like, nah, this isn't happening, bro. This isn't. Like, it's just not right. But I think I have, from a personal level, in fact, I have enough cause for optimism that we might have a good season compared to last year. I mean, for the love of God, please stop preseason tours to the United States. I'm not having that, bro. I'm sorry. We had Menu and Ahmad get injured last year. We've already got Euro injured. We've already got
The half the halftime shows were nice.
But I don't care. I see the NFL enough, Nate, for having halftime shows for me. I don't want that in football. I don't, especially in the preseason friendly. I'm sorry, I don't want that.
Fair enough. So we'll just get to some of the questions, but actually, so Twalumba basically kind of doubled down on the point I was making, which is
Yeah, I think
couldn't
I still
teach.
agree. Yeah, I think I agree
Yeah.
with Twalumba here. Mount was
Yeah.
injured for almost a year. I think most of our major players who were considered to be linchpins in that starting 11 were out for like 75 to 80% of the season. Licha, Varane, Casemiro himself, Mason Mount, who was expected, who was personally headhunted by Ten Hag to be that first signing of the summer. He was out injured for multiple, like for generations, I'd say. Like for he played
You know
the
what?
first 2 games.
You know what? You just reminded me of another reason I don't like Ten Hag.
Mason Mount.
Because we had the money. If you remember the timeline of the scenario, we had the money earmarked for Kim and Jay. And
I
then
think
we took so long for Kim and Jay. Kim and Jay signed with Bayern, and
here's
then
the
we
thing.
got Mason Mount.
I still believe that Kim Min Jae wasn't our first priority in defense. I don't know why. I still believe that Kim Min Jae was a smokescreen for some particular signing that we wanted to pull off that we did not pull off. I think so. I am not exactly sure that we would have gotten Kim Min Jae in the first place. I respect your opinion about the fact that
No, I mean it was a buyout clause, so we had the money because we spent more money buying Mason Mount.
yeah,
The
we did.
buyout,
We
yeah,
did.
the buyout
We
clause
did.
was technically less than Kim and Jay, so we had the money.
Yeah, but I still like, of course, like the interest was concrete as far as I know, or the reports were to believe, but I still, somewhere did not. I was not exactly sold on the idea that we were actually making a very concerted effort for Kim in the first place. Like it because most of the reports that were coming out from Italian media, not the English media. And if there's one thing that I know in my brief encounters in the football world so far is that whatever, if there is an Italian source that is reporting a story that is not Fabrizio Romano, please take it with a pinch of salt. Like
That's interesting because he was coming from Napoli, so it would make more sense that there are more Italian reports in this case, at least. But
most of them were not exactly your reliable outlets. Is what I'm saying.
no, I know what you're
that were
saying,
breaking
but
out.
yeah, I get that. Yeah, I mean, yeah, of course.
Yeah,
And
but
the thing, I believe we were looking only at him and Todibo was, as we know now, was never going to happen. I was wondering how we could buy him in the. I always thought it wasn't going to happen, but the way everyone made it sound like it was going to happen, I was like, if it happens, then great because that's who he wants. But
yeah, but
like
that's what I find a little. That's what I find a little hypocritical with the Todibo dealing as well. That we did not exactly want him just because Ineos took ownership. We wanted him from the past year and a half. So I don't understand why UEFA have become this moral police in the fact that they've already gone out and said that, listen, because you all both are owned by the same entity in that regard, we don't want you all to have that dealing in the sense. But if you take a brief look, like all you need to take is a look out there. is that we wanted him since the previous season when we weren't under Ineos ownership. So I don't understand what was the issue here.
So the issue is that we cannot buy partly owned. We basically can't buy players from a partly owned club if
Yeah,
they share the owner.
I
So
get that,
so
but
so so the timeline doesn't matter because at the end of the day, Ineos now owns Manchester United. People were talking about
they
the Man
aren't
City
majority
thing.
owners though. But they
Doesn't
aren't
matter. I think
majority
I think it's I
owners.
think it's ownership period. I believe in the laws. I believe it's just ownership. It's not like a lot of people were saying they're not majority. I don't think it says that in the law. I think it
But
just says you
Salzburg,
can't buy.
so we are literally going to turn a blind eye to the fact that Salzburg and Leipzig blatantly trade players from one club to another.
I am not actually sure. I think they are. It's different for them because they are in a different European tier. If I'm not mistaken,
They,
I
they,
think they.
they
I
were
think they were
there were
allowed
two or
to.
three there were 2 or 3 seasons where they constantly played in the Champions League. Same ownership group,
No,
but
but I
so
think at the time of the trade, I think they might have. I think that's how they have done it. If I don't
no,
remember. I don't remember because the.
I don't think so because the year when Haaland was traded from Leipzig, from Salzburg to Leipzig, both played the Champions League. Haaland traumatized Klopp while playing for Salzburg, and that same year they moved. So I'm not exactly sure how it works right here
I'm not
because
sure.
we've blatantly seen players from go from Salzburg to Leipzig. Šeško being one of them, and now we know how highly rated Šeško is throughout the European market. So if we are blatantly trying to turn a blind eye to the fact that Salzburg and Leipzig have been trading players left, right, and center throughout the course of their existences, why is, or even City Football Group for that matter,
No,
Troyes,
City Football Group. I know because Troyes is in League Two.
yeah,
Troyes is in League Two, and
that is the only reason why they've survived this one. That is the only reason they've survived this one. But I genuinely feel bad for Troyes, man. This is a
I
player who
don't.
did not even. They did not. This is the player who was their record signing. Did not play a single game for them. Was loaned immediately to Girona and just went to City. And they are now. They're not even in League Two at the moment. They got relegated a division further.
Oil doesn't work equally everywhere. I guess. Don't know what else to say.
I think that's a good way to put it.
No, okay. So we'll just answer some questions in the meantime. But I highlighted Tualumbas first, so we'll do Tualumbas and then I'll just go down and highlight the next questions.
I mean,
So what
70% of the
senior play?
team, man.
No, but
70.
he wants names because in as you know on Twitter we have certain players that have been quote unquote
Yeah.
possibly offloaded. So
So
which ones do you want to go basically?
see, I think if a right price comes for Rashford, then Rashford, yes. Sancho definitely out. Sancho, I started the stream saying this that Sancho definitely needs to go out. Sancho, yes. Maguire, yes. Lindelof, then Scott. I think if reports are to be believed, we are just that one step away from breaking ground with Fulham as far as Scott's deal is concerned. Now, here's where I'm very conflicted. I love Van Bissaka with my heart and soul. Like I have the 22-23 United jersey and I have 29 on my back because I that's how much I love Van Bissaka. And not just because he came to United. I've been following him on a personal level since his Crystal Palace days. And I have thoroughly enjoyed Van Bissaka as a defender. I still believe that if Van Bissaka is given that leeway to make that switch from right back to centre back, I still believe
Center
that
back.
he's yes. Yeah, now here's listen. Hear me out here, Nate. All right. What is the one big gripe that we have as far as Van Bissaka's playstyle is concerned? That we
High
all call
ankle high
that we all call
crosses.
him. Yeah, that okay, and we all call him a 1v1 merchant. Yes, we all call him that.
I'm actually okay with that one. I like
Yeah,
that one personally.
you are, yes, you are. So am I. My point is the thing that people are touting to be his biggest weakness, that his is predominantly defensive instincts. All right, make it his biggest strength. what is the one thing that we don't have is we don't have a definitive last man in defense. All right. Even with Licha's aggressive and brilliant abilities as a center back, all right, he still doesn't play last man 6 or 7 times out of 10. And we eventually end up with someone like a Varane who's already made of glass, or someone like a Maguire who, God bless us all, we know is not a last man that you'd like to have on defense. With Wan-Bissaka's impeccable tackling ability, we all know the recovery pace that he has. Wilfred Zaha endorses this. Now we know, I am not exactly sure that we hold Wilfred Zaha to that standard of your elite Premier League wingers, but he is something, all right? He is something. And when Wilfred Zaha says that when he looks back and sees Aaron running to him and he says, "Oh my God, it's Aaron," I think that has to be taken at face value. So he's excellent at the tackle. And last season, I think if we see, he's improved leaps and bounds on his near post defending, something that I was very, very pissed off with. In the fact that the reason why we lost that game to Arsenal was the fact that he dozed off that stick, or whichever stick he was, and let Eddie Nketiah sneak in. He improved that. He's now, here's the thing. I think a lot of people sleep on Wan-Bissaka because he runs like someone put a tranquilizer dart up his ass. He does not. His running style is not exactly the most pleasing to look at, but he does enough, man. So I still believe that if AVB is a centre back, I will die on this sword of mine. I will die on this sword of mine.
I think he goes to ground too much for a centre back personally.
Yeah, but I think that is the game right now, in the sense that most of them are very, very comfortable with the ball at their feet, right? So if you have someone who goes to ground too often, who's that old school defender which we have grown up watching and loving as a whole. If you see someone come off that mold, you like, or like if you put a Gen Z fan who's grown up watching that monotonized football with his possession style or whatever that is, if you put someone like a Wan-Bissaka in his island, he'll be like, what is this garbage? What is this trash? Give me aesthetically pleasing football. Give me someone like a Laporte thing, 60-yard balls, 60-yard diags, or whatever that is. But I would die on the fact that I know for a fact that Wan-Bissaka at centre back would be a brand new signing for us, and I will die on that hill fighting this.
I don't think you will have to, because I think next week he's not here. But I hear you.
Yeah. So whatever it is, I knew the fact that if it had to come to selling one of our right backs, whether it was Dalo or Wan-Bissaka, it would be Wan-Bissaka. And if he does go, I will still have that. I'll still have that.
I genuinely don't think he's going to play centre back anywhere he goes. It's a very interesting thing you bring up, because at some point of time he will lose his pace, and then it will be interesting to see what becomes of him, I suppose.
He isn't really fast for a right back though, but if you use that same speed that he has, and if you translate that into centre back, he definitely becomes one of the fastest, because the recoveries that he does is just downright insane. The way he covers ground and the way he is so accurate with those tackles. All right. I've only seen him in his 4.5 or 5 years at the club. I've only seen him miss time a tackle twice. Once is the game against Watford where he got sent off, and I think that was the game where Ollie got sacked. And the other one was a recent game in this season. The only 2 times that I've seen him miss time a slight tackle, Nate.
Yeah.
So he's like 90 to 95% accurate with his tackle. All right. And with all due respect to Maldini, when he said that when I made a tackle, I know that I made a mistake. I don't care. He's rectified that with that tackles.
Yeah, but I would listen to Maldini about defending.
Yeah, I do. But then, see, as a defender, your main job is to prevent the goal. So if he does, at the end, if the goal is prevented with that sliding tackle, I don't think we'll be talking about it much, irrespective of how he does it.
No, we won't. Probably not. No, we won't.
So that is what I feel. And again, I'll say I love Wan-Bissaka with all my heart, but it will be a very, very disappointing sight for me to see him go. But
I mean,
although deep
we
down
have
I
to
know
we have to
he
get
was,
we
yeah,
have
we
to get
have
rid
to.
of somebody, right? Like
Yes, we have
some
to.
people
We
just
have
have
to.
to go. Like
Yeah, so
so wait, so you said Van
Van
Bissaka?
Bissaka, Scotty, Lindelof are like absolutely dead certs along with Sancho. These four have to go. And as far as good offers are concerned, then Maguire, if a good offer comes in, Rashford, if a good offer comes in.
Okay, so roughly six, which is
Six.
I believe almost all of those six are being shipped, being proposed to leave at
Yeah,
some by
at some
some team or the
stage.
other.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Okay, so I would say the same six, and I mean I don't want to, but clearly he's just going to sell Palestri, so you might as well. I don't want him to suffer on the bench, man.
Yeah, man. I don't.
I rather we
I'm
suffer.
also
I rather we
very.
suffer. Yeah, because we're just ruining
I'm
people's careers here. I
Yeah,
don't like that.
I'm also very disappointed with the Pelistri situation. The guy is a full Uruguay international who starts games in and out for
So
the
there,
national team.
you know what people are telling me? Oh, it's just Uruguay. I'm like, in the last set of
It's
friendlies he
just.
played.
I'm sorry,
No, no,
what?
no, no. That's fine. That's
It's
fine.
just Uruguay?
I'm okay with
Nah,
that.
bro.
No, no.
Nah, nah,
Listen,
nah,
I'm
nah,
okay
nah.
with that, right? I'm okay with that part. But just before the Copa America, their last batch of friendlies was against Brazil and Argentina, and he played both games. I'm like, it's just Uruguay, but he's playing against better teams in the friendlies. So
No, but the thing is, if you look
yeah,
at the state of football in Congo, right? The Latin American football scene.
bloody awful.
Yeah, you have to literally play against UFC fighters on the pitch. So if you're telling me that it's just Uruguay, I'm sorry, I'm going to disagree with you because bar Brazil, Argentina, and Colombia, this particular Copa, all of them are just out for your bones, whether it's your leg, whether it's your hand, whether it's your ankle, whether it's your knee. They just want to kill you. The fact that
Biggest mistake is that we have loaned Alvaro and Pelestri
no, I think
outside of England.
Alvaro, Alvaro is
No.
a
I am
permanent
saying
deal.
we
Alvaro
should
is
no.
permanent.
I'm saying we should have loaned them last season to championship sides, like how we did with
Oh,
Ahmad.
yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
I think that's what we should have done again. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So
I
what
think,
are so someone said Udgarte's deal is off. Abhishek
yeah,
Singh.
it's off. It
What
is.
are the alternatives? So
Sander
Abhishek, the
Berger.
alternative. Yeah. Okay. You tell us what
No,
they are.
I think you take this one. I think I spoke enough
No, no,
in
it
this one.
makes no difference. At the end of the day, we are I'm going to ask you which one you prefer anyway. So we are going to be both
Yeah.
talking.
So I think
Sander
the most,
Berger,
yeah, Sander
Ricardo
Berger is
Rios,
one.
Ricardo Rios.
I'm not convinced. I'm not
No, no,
convinced.
I am saying he wants to know the alternatives that are being like
Yeah, Sander
said.
Berger, Ricardo Rios. Then there's talk of Zubi Mendy also. Although Liverpool have now entered the race.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
Yusuf Fofana.
yeah. I don't think that's happening either. I think
No,
Milan.
he wants to
Be
know
on
what
the
are the
verge.
alternatives as to the
Yeah,
people we are currently looking at
we are
on.
trying to hijack Fofana, so let's make that clear. He almost has a deal set in stone with AC Milan, but again Zirkzee had it too, and we poached him as well from Milan, so I'm not exactly sure what's that's going to happen. So for now, these are the four, and the most likely that I see happening out of this is either one of Sanderberger or Zubimendi at this point, because
I don't think we are getting Zubimendi. We don't have the money for Zubimendi.
yeah, so So what's happened with Zubimendi is that he's already rejected Arsenal twice. He's rejected Barca, and he's all. I think I'm not sure how true this is that he's also ended up rejecting Bayern too. So he's already rejected these clubs. I'm not sure that Liverpool. I'm not sure he's going to accept Liverpool terms. I don't see how Zubimendi fits in that style. I just don't in the Liverpool style.
So
For a team that is so hell bent on continuing that gegenpressing tradition that Klopp has, just set in stone for that side. I just don't see someone as aesthetically pleasing as Zubimendi, who takes his time, who's all about sleight of hand, like a classical magician, where you are there one moment and you aren't the next. I don't think something like a chaotic Liverpool press style will suit him. So that is the only. And apparently now Frankie De Jong's once again on the fray.
no.
No, I'm going to avoid him with a barge pole, Nate. I'm going to avoid him with a barge pole.
No
I
more.
don't
We don't
want
have. We
him.
don't have. We don't have time for this season. I'm
Yeah,
I'm
we don't.
sorry. We
I'm
just
sorry.
don't
Yeah,
have
yeah.
time. Hello,
So
Ajman.
even Ugarte is still in the mix as long as PSG reduce their terms.
Yeah,
Is
but
the
that's like so. Another thing that's frustrating is we have heard this for the last 3 weeks that they're sticking to the price. So Ineos trying to act cool by like people are saying we agree with Ineos not trying to get robbed. Fair enough.
fair
Why
enough?
you? But why are
But
you
try
still
and learn,
waiting? Why
no?
you still?
Try and
Why you
learn. Try
no?
and
But what I'm
learn.
trying. Why are you waiting for their price to reduce? We need signings now. You're
Yeah,
waiting for their price to reduce, and then by the time they say no and you give up, we'll have nothing. Yeah, it makes no sense to me. This some of this
I
stuff
have
doesn't
one.
make sense.
I have one question for you. Would you would you take Sofyan this season?
Of course, we have
Yeah, right.
nobody. Yeah,
Thank you. No, no, no. I'm
we
not
have
not
nobody.
no, 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 no. I'm not talking about like no. I'm not talking about whether we have nobody or what. But would you actually take Sofyan as a genuine alternative at CDM here?
I mean, I take him at left back at this point of time. We don't have left back still.
Because the thing is that he was great when he played the few games that he played at CDM. I mean, the FA Cup final, the man was everywhere in the center of the park. Like the few games that he actually played in at that number 6 position, you could see that what Ten Hag was trying to build on as far as play style is concerned. There were those brief green shoots of grass that we talk about, that
Yeah, yeah.
what he insists about, what we want to see from a United side. The few instances that he actually played at CDM were the time that we actually seen it. So I think I would rather have Sofyan back, man, on a permanent setting.
I mean, someone literally just said it. Yeah, I highlighted it, but I forgot. Yeah, Ruchi, who's the United fan as well. Sanderberger, Yusuf Fofana are our alternative windows charts have really severely fallen.
No, but
I
Sancho is actually a very good
No,
CDM.
but listen, I this is my thing, right? If he is good, why is he not our first choice? Because at the end of the day, we basically admit to everybody and the world, it's not just about us as fans. We admit to the people that are keeping an eye on us to see if we are going to rise this season, hopefully, that we are resorting to desperate tactics. So either you have the money for the player or we move on. Do not wait for quote unquote prices to reduce. The
Yeah,
reason we got the Lenny Euro deal is because we were paying more than Real Madrid, and that's it. That's it. We didn't wait for no prices to reduce. The reason we got Xerxes is because he had a buyout clause. The reason we didn't go for Brandtweight is because their prices weren't reducing. So if for the last 3 weeks PSG has said we are not reducing our prices, why have we not gone for someone else already? It's as simple as that. It's as simple as that. Everyone is patting everyone on the back. Yeah, we let Brandtweight go. Yes. I'm like, okay, cool. Why are we not letting Ugarte go? Why are we not moving on to the next one? Like, keep the same energy, right? We didn't say yes to
yeah.
Brandtweight. We signed Joro. We didn't say yes to Ugarte. Let's sign someone else. Why are we waiting for terms to be reduced?
I
Let's
I
go.
think I think that we might have a CDM signing in this week or the start of next, but I'm not sure it's going to be in time for the Community Shield. And and God knows that I don't rate the Community Shield, because whoever who's won that Community Shield has eventually, except for City, whoever's won that Community Shield has not ended up winning the league. So I just don't want. I just hope that whoever plays in that. I just hope that whoever plays in that Community Shield just ends up coming out on the other side fit enough, just fit, like just don't get injured is my
See,
concern. No, Chiesa is injury prone, and he's
I'll
stagnated a lot. He's
Yeah,
stagnated a lot.
no, yeah, just yeah. Also, no one's buying Anthony Jayesh. That's kind of part of the problem here, sadly. Who would buy Anthony in the first place? Give me one club. Al Nasser, apparently.
But apparently that's fake news too. So yeah,
We can always hope, right? Uruguay is better than Brazil right now. Yeah, but a lot of the United fans don't rate Palestri because he plays for Uruguay. I don't know what that is, man. I don't know
he's
what that is.
become
I don't. I
so
want to just
he's
leave it
so
like.
he's so he's actually become a beast under Bielsa though. Yeah. He's actually
He
he's
was,
improved
but
leaps and bounds. He
you
was
know,
good anyways. He was good
what's the funny
anyways.
things, Delvin. Me and Twalumba, I'm so happy that I do this currently right now, because if you go back to preseason last year, right, me and Twalumba actually said he was good then.
He's very good. The limited amount of times that he played in that 20 to 23 season as a substitute, that was enough to sell me that he's brilliant. It was enough.
I mean,
I don't understand why is he not
problem.
giving him the chances
No,
that he
we know,
actually
but we know
deserves.
the, but we know the reason, Delvin. That's the sad part.
Yeah,
It's not a head scratcher. We know exactly what the reason is. We know specifically what the reason is. There is no if,
that is
ands, or
what
but. And then when I
that
hear
is what
Ten Hag
user.
go, and when I hear Ten Hag go, like people aren't ready. I'm like, are you really trying to tell me Ahmad's not ready? Got player of the season at Sunderland in the championship, one of the toughest leagues in the world. I don't care
Yeah,
what anyone says. I say it's top 5 toughest leagues in the world. And people laugh at me all the time. And I'm
see,
like, I'm
Champions
good.
League. I think people don't. I think people tend to forget the the championship plays the most amount of games
No,
in
they
a
play the
professional
most.
season.
They are playing when everyone's
46,
taking.
close to 50
Yeah,
games. Yeah, exactly.
and they are playing games when everyone's chilling. Literally,
And,
everyone's
and
chilling.
if your team goes to the playoffs, you play 3 games more. And if you reach the playoff final, that's literally 50 games on the dot.
And they start at the lower rungs of the FA Cup and Carabao Cup as well.
Yeah, so
Like the
55,
top
60
eight
games.
English teams get buys, but everyone else got to play from group round one.
So that's technically an average team that participates in Europe. The amount of
Yeah.
games that they play, 60 games, 60 games.
I
Yeah,
mean, yeah, easy. Anyway, my the point was, so Vedant is saying, I like how we are walking away from deals, yeah, but we're not technically, are we, Vedant? We're not walking
we
away
did
from the Ugarte.
we did walk
That's what
away
I'm
from
saying.
the initial. We did walk away from initial deals, but I think we are reverting back to type now as far as
Yes.
Ugarte is concerned.
Why sell Anthony? Why stop the memes? By the way,
I mean,
he
of
is,
course, we
we are just
banter him
enjoying it
still.
now.
Yeah,
It's just
we
United
couldn't.
fans. We're just
Yeah,
enjoying
he's
it now. Like
gone.
we might
He
be
was
getting
on.
something out of it.
He was on loan, LeBron.
Yeah, I mean, Sophia, to answer your question, LJ, basically he's kind of in limbo. He is literally in limbo, waiting to see what's his future going to be. If
He
we
wants
are
to
going to
join
sign
us.
him, if we are
He
going to
wants to
sign him, we have
join
to give
us.
Fiorentina money no matter what, even though his contract has ended, because that was part of the loan deal. So I guess we are really waiting last minute, because free agents can sign anytime. They're not bound by transfer windows. So
Oh,
we are waiting. Yeah,
so he's currently not associated with any club.
his
I thought
technically
he's
his
still.
contract is ended, but what happens is the loan deal that was agreed upon is, if you're going to buy him, you have to give us this much money because we are loaning him to you. So
Yeah,
technically,
no, no.
we will. I think
I
it's 8 million. 8 million,
Yeah,
I think.
so I know the specifics of the deal. What I'm just asking is, he's actually a bona fide free agent, so he's not contracted with Fiorentina
So,
right
so
now as we speak.
no, but the money will go to Fiorentina if Manchester United buy him, and Manchester United will have a deadline till September. They can't buy him
Right.
after that, because, or they'll have to just give Fiorentina the money.
I think
Because
that comes to 21 million, right? I think that was the option that he
I
had.
heard it was like 10, 11 million.
No, the money that you're talking about was actually the loan fee that we paid to him
Loan
we
fee.
paid to
Yeah,
that we paid to for Fiorentina last
yeah,
year. I think if we want to buy him or something, that comes out to around anywhere in the range of 17 to 21,
yeah, something like that. Yeah.
which is a similar price tag to what Sheffield are currently asking for Berger as well.
I mean, we wanted Sanderberger when Ole was there. So like,
He's
this is-
actually good. He's actually very,
yeah,
very good.
but the problem is,
Irrespective.
Delvin, is if we wanted Sanderberger, we should have got him before Casemiro, because
Yeah,
that's when we were looking at
that's
him.
here's the thing. Here's the thing. Yeah, I agree with you. But I've seen a lot of discourse on the Sanderberger issue, that they're saying that why are we buying players from the championship and why don't we buy players from the elite leagues? So let me just get this here. I just want to say that Robertson was bought from Hull, which was a championship team. I think Crescencio Somerville right now is come from the championship to the Premier League. West Ham's bought him. I think some of the biggest steals that are there have come from the championship. Ollie Watkins was from Brentford.
Brentford.
and now it's
Neil
going.
Maupay was from Neil Maupay
Yeah,
was from Brentford.
I don't give a rat's ass about Neil Maupay. Let me be
No,
honest.
I'm saying he was also from Brentford before
Yeah,
he
but what
moved to the
was
Champions
is
League.
he good? Is he good enough? No,
He's
I'm talking
he's
about the
def
players.
he's definitely better than a lot of the current strikers that are in the league because a lot of them can't score.
Yeah, but then I still don't exactly rate him. I rate him for the
You don't have
shithousery that he
you
does.
don't have to rate him, but he actually gets something out of when he plays.
Yeah, Isri Konza, another one who was out
Three
from the
consoles.
championship. Yeah. So I
Bowen.
Bowen, yes. Jude Bellingham. Bellingham, in fact. Yeah. Like Abhijit says, Bellingham, in fact, yeah.
You know what's the funny
Like,
thing? Everyone didn't want Victor Gyökeres when he played for
he's
Coventry.
Coventry. I'm
Yeah.
so glad that he wasn't part of the Coventry squad when we faced them in the semi-final. He'd kill us.
No, but here's the funny thing, right? They didn't want Gyökeres because he quote unquote came from Coventry. He has one good season in Sporting Lisbon, and suddenly Arsenal are interested in him. I'm like, hold on, wait,
Chelsea.
what?
The jailers
Huh.
at Chelsea were interested in giving him 8 years of rigorous imprisonment.
Wait, hold on. Danish is saying his question. Hold on. Danish, give me a second. Can you type it in again, Danish? I might have lost where it is. So, what else is being said? Let City win the Community Shield, even City didn't win the league when they won that. Loser pool won the PL that season.
Yeah,
If I
actually,
was
that's a
Ten Hag, I
curse,
would.
man.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah. If I was Ten Hag, I would rather play Ahmad Palace. Yeah, I think we all agree on that one.
Please don't put Nazario in front of Antonio. That's not Antony.
It's a
That's
thing.
not his
It's a
real
thing.
name.
It's a
That's an
thing they do,
insult.
which is
That's
funny.
an insult. That's an insult. Now
I
he's
mean,
going
it's not.
nowhere.
It's not
Now
an
he's going
insult.
nowhere.
It's not insult technically. I mean, because Anthony has promised, so I've been told. I haven't seen it yet, but I've been told as such. Where is Doughty going? I have no idea,
He's
Danish.
not
That's a
going anywhere.
fantastic question.
Yeah, I don't think he's going anywhere. I've not seen any concrete links for him, which is a surprise.
Yeah, we sold Roy Keane from. Well, no, actually, we bought Roy Keane from Nottingham Forest, and then they got relegated. Vedant, if I remember correctly, Nottingham Forest, if I remember correctly. Yeah, because he was supposed to go to Blackburn, he didn't go to Blackburn. He came to us, then they got relegated. I blame ETH. Yeah, I mean,
He's
he
not
cannot go
blameless.
unblamed. He cannot go
He's not
unblamed this
blameless.
season, man.
Yeah,
No way,
absolutely.
no chance. Not for me, at least. It's not happening. Keep my team name out of your mouth. Jensen is a London-based Arsenal fan.
Oh,
Hello,
okay.
hello.
All right, all right.
Anthony better than R9, only in skill moves, I would say.
And
Only in
in,
skill moves.
in using the left foot,
Oh
perhaps.
God. I think I'm going to cry this season. See, if I see him cut in every time, even in just in one game, I think I'm going to lose my mind this time. Everyone always messages, "Do you think Anthony has improved his right foot?" I'm like, dude, I don't.
If
I think it's too far gone.
if he cuts in playing from left back, I have no problems. I have no problems then.
But you know what's
any other position, I'm going to lose my mind.
you know what you said something that we have also discussed when we watch the matches. Why not just swap sides if it's not working? Why doesn't he
Exactly.
do that? But that is
I've been
you know,
speaking. I've been talking about it the same. I've talked about it a lot. If you want to get the best out of Antony, just fucking put him on the left hand side. You want
this is
I
but
think
this is the
I think
problem. It's
not every team can do the right footer from the left hand side and the left footer from the right hand side like City does. I mean,
but Delwyn, here's the real problem. I heard someone go, Eric Ten Hag prefers inverted wingers. Man, can I say something really? And I don't mind being ignorant about this. When has this become a thing? When has it been okay to be a one-footed player in football? Just because Messi was good. I don't get it. Like, when has it become okay because Ian Robin and Messi were good with their left foot that everyone else can do it now? Like, I don't understand what's going on here. This whole he likes inverted winger things. It sounds like the most ridiculous nonsense I've ever heard in my life.
we
You
are
should
way
be
past
able
that.
to put
We
a
are way
no, but
past
what
that. Exactly.
you should just be able to cross. I don't care what Eric Ten Hag tells you to do because at least I know there's a plan B. If you're going to do plan A and tell me Eric Ten Hag prefers plan A, When plan A stops working, what do we do? Again, goes all the way back to I was promised fluidity. I get none. I get no fluidity. I just don't get any fluidity. And it's very frustrating because I just don't understand when has it been okay to be a one-footed player in professional level football. I just don't get it. When has it been this okay? Because we are not using Amad Diallo and Palestri, who can play on both sides of the wing, and Amad Diallo can play on three fronts. Garnacho can play on both sides. Rashford can only play on the left and striker. I would never play him striker, but he can only do those two. And then we have one guy who only can play right wing. How and he is the one that's get preferred over everybody. He gets preferred even when before Garnacho broke in last season, it was Antony and Rashford. So he's getting preference over everybody that is actually more well-rounded than him because quote unquote, we like inverted wingers. Hold on a minute. Last time I checked, inverted or not, wingers can cross a ball. Last time I checked, he doesn't cross left
And
foot or right foot.
I actually blame Bruno also a little bit. I mean, it's
Oh,
ludicrous.
how is he
No,
going to help this?
I'm talking about the lack of service in the box. Now, I agree with you about the fact
Okay.
that wingers should cross. All right. And like you said, with Garnacho saying, "Hold my beer, I'll show you how it's done." As far as the crossing the ball to Rasmus was concerned, I think Bruno himself was very hesitant to cross the ball to Rasmus. You could see in many of the instances that Rasmus got himself in brilliantly
Yeah,
positive situation,
I
positive
agree.
positions, and Bruno was very reluctant to give him the ball. I think it was during the later stages when it finally clicked. Like, all right, hold on, he's actually doing this. He's doing this way too often to ignore him, and that's when Bruno actually started passing him the ball or crossing it to him.
But the wingers
So
still didn't.
yeah, the wingers still
That's
did not. That's the
wingers still didn't.
and here's the thing that irks me the most, that if Antony actually puts his head into using his right foot, he can actually use it.
I don't.
Uh,
I
he can use it if he actually does put his mind. The the Liverpool goal was one, and that was actually a very good finisher, right? Off balance on the right foot. You have to give him that, man. You have to give him that
no.
for
See,
all.
the reason I don't give him anything right foot related is because it's done out of desperation, Delvin. That's the real problem.
Yeah, so that's the issue. So if he actually puts his heart and mind into it, you will actually see him use his right foot. Is what I'm
But
saying.
the thing is, I don't, Delvin, because I actually see people give him way to go down the right hand side, and he never takes it. Like I have seen with my own eyes, him and Van Bissaka, they have this thing. Van Bissaka also does it. He goes right to the byline and then turns back and back passes. I'm like, what the fuck are you
Va-
doing?
Van Bissaka is reluctant to shoot. Also, is something that I am very pissed
Yeah.
off with.
No, no.
And
See,
he
I'm
has a
okay
good.
with that.
And he
Just
has
just
no.
cross. Just
The thing
cross,
is,
please.
if you actually compare Dallo and Van Bissaka's shot power, all right, Van Bissaka has the more powerful shot.
Yeah. He scored a lovely one 2 seasons ago in the top corner.
Against Newcastle, his first
That
goal
was
for
a,
the
it was
club.
a, it was
Yeah,
it was a really good goal. Yeah, for
yeah,
sure.
and that is enough. That is enough for me to actually come to an assumption that, all right, hold on, Van Bissaka actually has a good shot in him, but I don't know why he's so reluctant to use it, because there were many instances last season that he actually was in beautiful situations where he could actually pull the trigger and actually take a great shot,
Exactly, and
and he
he
did
and
not.
he
Yeah,
didn't
he
do
did not.
anything. It's just-
Yeah, exactly. So there are like areas of frustration for even a player that I personally like a
But
lot.
if that's all good, everything is forgiven. No, Delvin, if there is intent. I can't tell you the number of left backs that have allowed Van Bissaka and Anthony to run down the byline only for them to cut in. Like
Yes,
ample, I'm talking
exactly.
about ample space. Like two
I
people
think
can run next to each other.
I think 14 out of 15 clubs in the Premier League have done that.
Whatever the number is, that's just the clubs. I'm talking about number of times per game. That's just the club. Only talking about like a game, how many times they get an opportunity. It's just like, what's happening here? You're getting space to cross. You have a 6'4" guy standing there wondering what's going on, and nothing happens every
And now,
single time.
and now you have another 6'4" guy who's
Yeah, I
there.
mean, it's just I don't get the Xerxes deal either. Like someone put it in the chat. Why are we getting Xerxes who's around the same age and same height and same profile as Rasmus? We should have gone for a senior
No,
striker. I get that.
I don't think he's the same profile as Rasmus.
I guess what I'm trying to say is we should have. I meant like in terms of age, like someone that's more long term. People have said we should have got someone that's more short term. So
But
when he goes, this guy's ready.
Yeah, but we've had 4 or 5 strikers in their primes competing for positions in the previous years.
Yeah, but not which previous years. That's way too long ago. That's not that previous.
No, but whatever it is, but we've had a history of multiple strikers.
But we don't play 2 striker formations. That's the number one reason that will never work anymore.
Yeah, but
that was when we had.
Cersei can come in as well. So what I think another thing that can be done here is maybe try playing 2 up front. Where
what's the formation?
So where it's 4. All this involves 4 at the back. You cannot do this with the back 3. You can't.
Okay.
You have a 4. You have a 2, and you have. I think it's like a very football manager-ish side, like of a 4-2-2.
Okay. 4-2-2.
So yeah, so where your double pivot that is there is a hybrid in the sense that you have Menu who does all your distribution and all that, or you have whatever your midfielder is, whether it's the Momo version of Casemiro, whether it's Sofian who you get, whether it's Sander Berger who you get, or whoever the hell you get. So it's 4-2-2 with your 2 wingers. You have 2 strikers where Xerxes is the one who's playing off Rasmus.
Okay.
And that is how you work in this. I mean, you don't sacrifice. You will leave a little bit of space, but then I think that can be offset with the fact that Licha is your most progressive passer from the back, in the sense that he's your most accurate passer, and Luke Shaw also understands those positional intricacies. For all of his injury issues, Luke Shaw is one of our most intelligent players at the back. He understands when to overlap. He understands when to take the position of your inward defender in that sense. And he is more often than not very reliable in 1v1 situations as well. As evidenced with the fact that he put Yamal under clamps for 75 to 80% of the game in the Euro finals.
Yeah, no one was keeping an eye on Nico Williams, unfortunately.
But that's the other side. That was the duty and the responsibility of 2 family Kyle Walker.
Yeah, I mean.
And keep in mind that sucked because I'm an England fan. I'm gonna get a lot of hate for this, but I'm an England fan.
So am I.
Oh, thank God, dude! Thank God.
They really the chat really enjoyed my misery. But anyway,
bruv,
that's I mean,
I am the only England fan in 9 out of the 10 football groups that I'm part of. So imagine what
that must be fun.
Go through. Yeah, that the most common reply I've got is that "Aaja, main tujhe home dikhata hu." And I did not say it's coming home even once the entire Euros.
I don't sing that song. I don't like that song, first of all. I really don't like that song.
Same.
It is what it is. So Danish put this question up. I did forget to ask you. Why was Kovar sold if we were willing to accept all those mistakes for the sake of ball playing ability? Plus, we could have saved 50 odd. I couldn't agree with you more.
Yeah,
I thought Kovar also had a fantastic preseason that year.
Yeah, he did. Actually. He did, and he ended up winning the Bundesliga unbeaten, being the starting
and he won the Czech league before that. We loaned him out, and he came back.
Yeah, but I think he'd obviously be more known for winning, for being.
I'm saying he did.
I think he was at
Sparta like he played professional football, Prague, and then we put him him back on loan again.
That was Sparta Prague, right? Where he was on loan.
Yeah, it's his childhood club even. So.
Yeah,
that also happened. Yeah, I agree.
I agree as well. Yeah, he was.
Yeah. I thought he played very well with Fish and Bennett in preseason. I thought
I was actually hoping that he would be. I was actually hoping that he would be back up for Dino. We sold Dino as well, so I was hoping.
I mean,
that if we,
the goalkeeper thing is just a whole conundrum, man. The
yeah,
way we
man,
got rid of all
seriously,
our
yeah.
goalkeepers, it's like I don't know what that was.
I wanted David Rea, not Onana. I wanted Rea
I
as my
want
goalkeeper.
I also wanted Raya actually.
See, great minds think alike, bruv.
No, listen, I
He was
just
Premier League proven. He was Premier League
yeah,
proven.
and he played for
He
Brentford, which is
he
difficult.
had a great season for Brentford. He had a great season
No,
for Brentford.
so do you agree with Danish? You think we should have just kept Kovar and not
I
bought
should.
Onana?
I think if we've kept Tom Heaton, I think we should have kept Kovar instead of Tom Heaton. We still have Tom Heaton on
And
our books.
and we bought Bayern there. Don't forget that.
Yeah, we bought Bayern did. Yeah, exactly. And he's played just 2 games.
I mean, I don't know. The goalkeeper thing is it's just weird. All overall, it's just a weird one. Antonio Nazario's get youth salaries without any skill and still be in the job without doing anything. That's a good point, actually. Fair point. Can R9 do the fidget spinner move? You know for a fact he cannot, Janish. That's just a fact of life. No, he can't do it. I would keep Anthony just for the right foot goal against Van Dijk. Like I said, he had moments, Vedant. We're not denying the moments, but you can't pick him as a starter.
That assist against Chelsea.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying I like him. I like the fact that he wants to be here, but he can't start. There's just too much talent in the team sitting on the bench. You can't.
I agree with this. I agree with this.
System football's killing the game. Jensen, you know what? You're right. And you're also wrong because you know what? The first thing people do on the highlights is this show this kind of football when it works. They don't show moments of magic. They show this bullshit on the highlight reel every time with their little squiggly lines and the arrows and their little arcs and all that. I mean, they do that. They love that. The pundits love that. That's how they all earn some money. My manager also prefers hardworking employees, yet he has to deal with us. ETH should adjust. I blame Ineos and the Glazers. Yeah, I think we all do. I think you got to blame Ineos as well now, man. This whole Ugarte 3-week thing.
I'll still wait until the end of the transfer window.
Okay,
I'll still wait until the end of the transfer
window. Fair enough. But don't you think we should still have benched the Ugarte deal by now?
Should have. I think we already have. But it's too late to. I think it's too late. I think because we've already had concrete reports from Onstein saying that we've ended the interest. But I think it should have happened like 4 or 5 days before it actually happened.
Look at this. He wasn't a 1-foot guy, so he just played with the left foot.
I don't understand this Messi Ronaldo comparison, and I enjoy both of them.
No. So it's mostly okay. That's actually a very simple answer. It's mostly a United Barca. I'm sorry, it's mostly a Madrid Barca thing.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what it is. Like no matter what people will tell you, it's mostly a Madrid Barca. Like and all the United people get pushed into the Ronaldo thing because obviously he came from our club. No matter what Real Madrid will tell people, his form actually started at our club. That's an actual fact, but people will pretend like it didn't happen. So that's all. That's fine. That's okay. We know what he did here. We don't need to like.
Not Twalumba, I'm still happy. I'm still happy with the way things have gone this transfer window. I'm not panicking at all. I'm not panicking at all.
You're not panicking at all? Really?
No. So the only reason that I had as a sense for panic was that if Dan Ashworth started his post as the DOF way later than he actually began. So
hold on, but that is another problem with Ineos. Because Ineos did that whole mobile thing and then they found out that they've been talking and then that's how that legal issue happened. That is an Ineos thing.
No, I'm talking about so there was this brief period when Newcastle were dragging their heels over the amount of compensation that was supposed to be paid for Ashworth when he was in gardening leave. So my problem was that had they kept dragging on that saga as far as Ashworth is concerned, my problem was the later that he assumed his position as DOF, the more fucked up our transfer window would go, is what my thought process was. My logic was simple. The faster Ashworth assumes his position, the more smoother our transfer window would go. And I think so far it has, bar the bar the Ugarte issue that is gone on, that has taken so long.
I
We made
actually,
quick
yeah, sorry, no, continue. Sorry.
we actually made good progress in the initial stages. We got a
Initially.
deal. We got our deal done very quickly for Euro. We got into the Xerxes situation as quickly as possible, and we did the smart thing by spreading that payment rather than paying a one-shot release clause, which would actually hamper our finances from an FFP perspective. Those are the positives that you have to give Ineos credit for, and rightly so. All right, we walked away from the Branthwaite deal, which is again, I love the meltdown of the Everton fans on an off topic, but I think now there are a little bit of if you a fact of looking with the magnifying glass sort of thing that there are certain things that need to be put up in a much more better and a much more nuanced way. You're making it very clear that you're still stuck on that one particular target, whereas actually you need to be setting sights on alternative targets if your primary one isn't done. And the Ugarte Dean has shown those frailties from that point of view. So while they're not exactly the saviors that we have thought to be, they have done their job initially. They have gone on a bit of a taper right now, but like I told you a couple of minutes ago, that I will still reserve my judgment up until the end of the transfer window.
Interesting. I have a completely alternative theory. I think we should have gone for Paul Mitchell, who was free and as a United fan, and he's based in Manchester United, and he was hanging out with Ralph Ragnick before Ralph Ragnick was supposed to go into management. And the reason the deal the issue with the Ashworth fees was because Manchester United did illegal shit by talking to him, uh, which are not supposed to do because there are it's called hush clauses, and they decided to not follow that. And then that's how
No,
we had an intermediate. That's how we had a mediation. Otherwise, there would be no mediation.
I think the other, I think as far as the hush clauses were concerned, I think the only thing that got Ratcliffe and the team in hot water was the fact that he actually spoke about the Ashworth situation in public, in the sense that while complimenting the fact that Ashworth is a good man at what he does, he openly went and shat on Newcastle about the fact that they've put him on gardening leave for 18 months or something like that.
That
I
that
think
was also very weird from a businessman.
yeah,
You'd
so
think he wouldn't say
that is
anything.
so that is exactly why the spotlight fell on the fact that what is happening between Ashworth and United right now. That statement had Ratcliffe not exactly gone ahead and said the exact same thing that he said as far as the Ashworth situation is concerned, I don't think we would have been in hot water for that long.
Also, the thing where they don't tell Newcastle they're going to talk to Dan Ashworth. That's where it all started. Actually, the whole mediation
Yeah,
thing and all.
but I think that is exactly how Newcastle got Ashworth in the first place,
Yeah,
by
but
talking
but
to him.
but it that logic won't apply to them because it doesn't serve their purpose, right? Like,
No, but then you have to call a spade, right? They got
no,
Ashworth the exact same.
not really,
Yeah,
because I
they
don't know.
got, because they got Ashworth the exact same way that we got
Hmm.
Ashworth. So
But
I
but
don't
I
see
don't but I don't know but
what
I
is the
don't know
black and
what
white here.
I don't know what I don't know what Brighton's rules were. So maybe it wasn't in their clause because Brighton could have taken Newcastle to the
No, they
cleaners, and
did put
Brighton
him.
has less money.
They did put him on gardening leave for 6 to 7 months as well before he started with Newcastle.
Then we are really idiotic because we were complaining about why should he be put on gardening leave. I mean, he should be put on gardening leave. That's just how it is. That's how business works. And everyone was getting mad and they were cursing Newcastle. I'm like, how can you curse Newcastle? This is literally in the bylaws. Like, that makes no sense. Like, what are you complaining about? We should have gone for Paul Mitchell, who's free.
No,
Simple
I
as that.
still no. Okay, I understand. I still believe Ashworth's the better option.
How? But
I
Paul Mitchell actually has international, what do you call it, dossier of talent, whereas Dan Ashworth has done England and Brighton. And no
yeah,
offense,
but
as an England fan,
no, so my logic's pretty simple. I keep clubs from a club perspective and country from a country perspective. So the work that he did at Brighton was on a truly holistic level, in the sense that he had a huge role to play in most of the signings that they made, and most of those signings were not exactly English. If you take a look at it, they bought in Caicedo. They sold him at what, 15, 20 times his value. They bought in They bought in Kukurea, who's drinking paella and now is currently a Euro winner. And of course, his Chelsea career has not exactly got to the best of starts, but the best version of Kukurea we did see at Brighton. Then you have the wide range of Latin Americans that have played, where you have Enciso there, you have Estupinian there, you have uh, you have Buonanotte there. So all these guys, that's Ashworth's talent ID. Whether you want to give them credit or no for that, that is Ashworth's talent ID. So you cannot exactly say that all his work is limited to England and the English sphere of influence.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So there is the talent ID. There is the brains behind the operation, and I'm more excited to see what work he puts in with our women's team rather than the men's team. Because if you look at it from a very magnifying point of view, it is our women's team that needs a lot more work than our men's team. Because our biggest stars have left. Mary Earps has gone to PSG. Katie Zellem's out on a free.
Zellem is left.
Yeah, so some
Last
of our
season,
biggest
Alessia
Russo
Russo.
left. Yeah, exactly. Russo left. Honor Battle left. We're forgetting Honor Battle. Yeah. So all these guys have gone were the reason that we finished second in the Premier League, Women's Super League last year. And some of the players who left this season were the reason that we won the Women's FA Cup in the first place. So the women's team requires much more work than the men. So I'm very excited to see what Ashworth has to do with the women's team, because that is one thing that he's done very well, is that put a lot of focus on the women's team. Brighton's women's team has gotten leaps and bounds better than what it was while he was at the helm, while he took office at Brighton. So there are a lot of things that you can be excited for with Ashworth's arrival. I can understand your trepidation with his limited resource that you say that he's where you validly put forward Paul Mitchell's point of him having a European dossier. And while Ashworth's sphere of influence is limited to only the England circle, I think no one can know English football much better than what Ashworth does. That is one way that you can look at it. And personally, I'm happy with the appointment. I think he was the best option available there, and we got him. Of course,
Do you know who Newcastle sporting director is now?
Yeah, I know he's Paul Mitchell now. I know.
So you know what the problem with what you just said is, right? We're going to find out this year itself if that's true or not.
But my problem with Newcastle is, like, I don't see how, because see, they've already managed to get Howe's attention with the vacant English job, all right? I don't see a better manager than Howe who can replace him at Newcastle and who can do the good work that he's put in there. For all the good work that Newcastle have done at the background, with the ownership, with Ashworth at the helm initially, whatever it is, I don't understand who's going to be that one who can do a better job, because Howe literally brought them from the brink of relegation to winning against PSG in the Champions League. And again, we're talking about injuries.
I don't really rate PSG that way. Though.
Yeah,
that's
but
the thing.
Brother, they had Mbappe. Come on, you have to.
What does that mean? They had Mbappe when we played them. What how was that good? We were still shit.
We won one game and we lost one game. So
and we were shit and they won the French league. Don't forget that part.
Yeah.
We were shit elsewhere.
No, what I'm saying is that for a team of Newcastle who've played the Champions League for the first time in 2.5 decades, I think beating PSG and almost doing the double over PSG is something
that wasn't a penalty. They got screwed in Paris.
Yeah,
we were doing the watch along here. It wasn't a penalty.
They did. That wasn't, absolutely not. That wasn't. So I think Howe is an amazing manager for Newcastle, and I do not see who are they going to get to replace Howe on the assumption that he actually becomes England manager.
No, but that is fine. I am talking about in terms of sporting director.
Yeah, but then again,
I'm just saying the talent. We are talking in terms of talent recruitment, like the manager and all. I mean, if he's crap, the good players will go somewhere better. You know what I
the
mean?
job,
It's like
one
Brighton.
of the jobs of the sporting director will also be to, have a say in the managerial appointment.
I mean, there's only so
That's
much
what
you
is.
can do if you have, but there's so much you can do when there's no options. But when it comes to players, you have the option of buying them because
Yeah,
Newcastle
fair
have
enough.
loads of money. So
I mean, I think
I mean, listen,
that was a
we will see.
very,
We
very
will see.
smart, very smart move to get rid of Stavely the way they did. Very smart move.
I mean, she literally signed the contract, so it's brilliant, isn't it? Like when you sign a
Yeah.
contract saying you're going to go in 2 years, brilliant.
So
What else?
that's actually good business. That's actually good
Yeah,
business.
that's good business. That no doubt. And
Yeah. But
to answer the question earlier, sorry, I know we have veered off completely, but everyone is talking about in the chat from what I'm still reading at the moment. Do you think Kovar is going to come back?
No,
Everybody's saying we should sign
no,
Kovar back. We have a
no.
buyback clause.
Yeah, we won't. We had a buyback clause for Memphis too. We did not buy him back. So
Yeah, but I mean, Memphis. I think Memphis was way more money though. We had this is like 15 million. Get a
no,
new goalkeeper again.
we had a decent amount on a buyback clause for Memphis when he was in Lyon. No, I'm not talking about the fact when he was in Barca or Atletico or whatever, because he actually well and truly matured as a player when he went to Lyon, and that was the version of Memphis that we were expecting to have when he joined us.
I mean,
And
so
Bruno
you
Fernandes,
don't think Kovar is going to come
I
back?
don't think Kovar comes back. No, and even if he
I
comes, even if
I
he
don't think.
does, even if he does, we will eventually pay what 70-80 million for him somewhere 5 or 6 years down the line. Yes.
It's really cheap. If we buy him with a buyback clause, it's really cheap.
How long is the buyback clause
I
for?
believe it's 3 years. Most of them are 3 years.
Yeah, so
1
you
year's
think he's
done.
going to come back within 3
I don't
years?
think Onana is going to last this season.
I think he will.
You think he's going to last this season based
Yes,
on
he
what
will.
what business you've currently done?
I'll go one further. I'll say he wins Premier League Golden Glove.
Really?
Yeah,
You
really.
really think so? This
Yes,
season?
I do.
We are going to ship goals in the first 3 games. He ain't winning
Yeah,
no Golden Glove.
we'll see about that. We'll see about that.
It's almost the easiest bet I can make right now.
For all the shit shows that he had in the Champions League, I think we forget the fact that he had a very good Premier League season.
Did he?
I mean, you
mean he had a very good Premier League season from January, right? Because the first half wasn't great.
I'm a goalkeeper myself, Nate. All right, I'm a goalkeeper myself. All right, and while I totally get the mistakes that he did were entirely avoidable, absolutely unavoidable. Like you could avoid them. He had to save those. You had to save those. You cannot let those goals go. But some of the saves that he pulled out in the Premier League were absolutely insane. And any goalkeeper who plays behind a defense that has no inkling of consistency throughout the course of the Premier League season, I think you have to give him some benefit of the doubt, man. Nate. Come on. 3 of our 4.
Wait, hold on a minute. Who's he replaced though? He's replaced someone who had to have 1 decade of inconsistent defending. We're talking about 1 season, really?
See, again, that is not Onana's fault.
That is Onana's fault. We have replaced him for Onana.
How is that Onana's fault?
Okay, I'll answer that question for you. The first interview he gave, he spoke a big game. Those were his words. I didn't say those words. You didn't say those words.
But why are we taking confidence for arrogance?
Listen, it could actually be arrogance, though. That's the best part. We think it's confidence.
See, exactly. That is the stereotype that we're looking for. So had Onana not spoken, all right, about it, and he would have, had he still made those mistakes that he did, despite not talking a big game, the criticism would still be the same, because because he's a United goalkeeper, and there is a separate level of a spotlight when it comes to representing United, whether you are a goalkeeper, whether you're a defender. I think we all know about the 007 Sancho memes. Yeah.
Can't be bothered. Can't be bothered.
Yeah, but that's That's the level of spotlight that you have when you face United.
I also think if you talk a big game and it's going to be worse. That's why I was going to disagree with you. I think if you say things and then it doesn't work out, you just look worse. Just like anything in life, it's not even United. Like tomorrow, if I tell you I'm gonna go and smash three people and get knocked out in the first punch, I think I get more shit than sitting quietly and getting knocked out in the first punch.
No, but I think for the first season, I think he had a decent, like he had a good Premier League season, had a horrible Champions League season. He
I
is the
thought
reason
I
why.
thought his season was good only from Jan. I don't know.
No,
I guess you can put it up with the chat.
Yeah,
I'll
but
ask
I
the
still
chat.
believe he had a. I still believe he had a good Premier League season though.
Okay, chat. Oh, hold on a minute. Sorry. Chat. Let me know if you think if you had a good half season or a good full season. Let's just keep it simple that way. Otherwise, it'll get all mixed up in the weeds. The answer. Speaking of which, I'm so glad you said that because Danish said it at the beginning of the stream. I'm going to read something for you. I'm sure you have read it already. I'm just going to read it so we can acknowledge this in the ether. Recorded. And I quote. Andre Onana in the upcoming season. God help me. He's an idiot if this doesn't work out this time. It's what you're going to see this season because I will take a lot of risks. that already doesn't make me happy.
But isn't that a prerequisite for every goalkeeper who's a ball playing one?
No, because he doesn't ball play. No, he doesn't ball play, Delwyn.
He did not play. He did not ball play last season.
He didn't ball play in pre-season.
I'm talking about his United's year in general, whether it's pre-season, whether it is in a professional capacity, the entire where the United, as far as United career is concerned, let's talk about that. That includes all pre-season games.
Yeah.
Last year, he did not ball play. This 1 year from pre-season till the end, he did not ball play. But in general, he's actually a ball playing keeper.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. It only matters what you do, no? Like that. I mean, that's what I'm saying, right? But that's what I'm saying. These are his words. These are not your words or mine. This is what he's saying.
I want him. I hope. I will support him. I will support him.
You can support him all you like, but if the words don't match the actions, you also have to call it out.
Yeah, but we don't have a single evidence of a regular season game. I think let's wait for a couple of games and then talk about the fact that.
But he is talking about upcoming season, not me.
I think let him speak. Let him speak.
But we already have our ball playing centre back injured, and this is what he said yesterday.
Yeah, but we still have Licha.
But that's one ball playing centre back. We need two.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, that's there. And
that's what I'm saying. See, this is what I'm saying. It's all about timing of the sentence. He said this yesterday after Yoro was injured for 3 months. Wait, hold on. Let me just read the rest of it. I can tell you in advance already. Be prepared because it's going to be this season. I don't know what it is, but it's going to be this season. Trust me. I will enjoy it even more when the season starts. I don't know what any of those sentences mean. I don't know what any of those sentences mean. I don't get it. But we are going to enjoy it apparently.
Yeah, brothers talking like he's Harry Houdini. So
I mean, he's saying some mad stuff. A second season in a row, and I'm very nervous because I get the memes and I don't enjoy it because I'd rather shut up and do the work. That's just me. But did you ever hear David De Gea talk like this ever? Even prime David De Gea.
But he wasn't the vocal kind.
I mean, technically, he.
No, he wasn't.
You know why he lost? Vocal. No, actually, this is why you're wrong. You know, he got the captaincy before Harry Maguire.
No, I'm not talking. No. I'm not talking about. I'm not talking about being vocal on the pitch, mate.
I'm talking about. You know why he lost his? Do you know why he lost his captaincy?
Because he wasn't vocal.
No, because he went on a horrible match. We played horribly.
That Newcastle rant, we are cursed.
I told them the truth because everyone didn't expect it from his mouth and then loses the captaincy and then Harry Maguire gets the captaincy and then we all get memed after that, which is brilliant. That ended up badly for us only. This is brilliant. So.
But he was... I'd rather keep the statement.
Listen, when he says it and he gets reprimanded by getting his captaincy stripped off, what else do you want from the man? What else do you want? Like you said it.
No, I wasn't talking about De Gea. I had an opinion about Maguire, but I'd rather keep it to
No,
myself. Or else,
listen, you can say whatever you can say what you want. Maguire as well said mad stuff in his opening interview as a United player as well. It's not just Onana.
I
Maguire
think he
said some
was
mad stuff too.
a good captain though.
He
For the
was
time,
good. I think
yeah,
so.
for
He
the
was all right.
yeah, he was a good captain though. I'll give him that. He gamely took on the mantle of captaincy, despite the fact that he knew he would get slated for it eventually. You require a lot of mental toughness being a United captain, and
Listen,
I think
you know what, Twalumba, as he's making a nice little joke here. He does
Abe's
that a lot.
buds.
I quite enjoy it. Um, I think even Twalumba, I think even the most hardened United fan last season can say Maguire really stepped up. I don't think I know anyone who hasn't said otherwise. The thing is, you can step up without being captain, if that makes
It's like
sense.
it's like that asterisk on a winning title, right?
Yeah. Listen, I don't have. I commended Harry Maguire this entire season. I said, you know what? We talk about mental health and all. No one talks about Harry Maguire's mental health.
Yep, exactly. He had death
Bomb
threats,
threats.
exactly.
The thing in Greece, being
That was
United
not.
captain
I
under the
still
worst season.
I still believe that was not his fault. I still
Man
believe
showed
that
up.
was not
Man
his
showed up
fault.
to play. Man showed up to play every week. It doesn't matter. He showed up no matter what people were saying outside of the pitch. He showed up every week. He didn't complain. He didn't ask for a day off. He didn't say, "Let's go to the Netherlands and I'll train there by my lonesome."
Still
He showed
still
up
had
every week.
a and had a great World Cup also.
Listen, he showed up. I can't say anything about that. That's a fact. He showed up whether you like him or
I
not. And a lot of people
I
don't like
respect
him.
I respect him for the mental fortitude he showed. I absolutely respect him.
Oh, this is hilarious. I blame Rashi. How can he complain and cry about being played as a striker, which he has actually done last season, which is weird. So considering that's how he literally got his debut in the first place. See how selfless Onana is as a midfielder guarding our goal. It's going to happen, man. I'm telling you, it's going to happen. This sentences here are going to be the bane of our existence till next May. Mark
But
my
that is
words.
but that is the thing, no, Nate. If a ball playing goalkeeper, all right, it's like a double edged sword. If things come out, it looks brilliant, all right, it looks brilliant. Some of the best ball playing goalkeepers of our generation, I know it's a stretch, but Edison being one, Allison the other, they've pulled out some incredibly insane stuff when things have gone right. But when things have gone wrong, both of them have fallen flat on their faces. And the only reason why it's not exactly come to the fore, Allison made a lot of mistakes last year while he was playing out of the back. But just because he's not Onana or he does not represent Man United, it does not come to the fore a lot.
He
That's
also
what I'm
doesn't.
trying.
He also doesn't run his mouth though. You have to take that into
Yeah, he does.
consideration.
Another reason why is he doesn't know to speak English. So
That
yeah,
that's I'm okay. He can say it in Portuguese. They do Portuguese interviews. I know that for sure.
yeah, but then that is what it is though. I don't mind. I don't mind Andre speaking his heart out. All right, there is already.
I mind if it's not backed up. Just like anything in life,
Yeah, okay.
it's not. It's
I
not
no,
just.
no, I get it. I get it. But then, have you ever given it a little bit of thought that could be his coping mechanism?
I think he needs a hug and therapy.
Yeah, no, because as it is, give me a list of African keepers that are on the top of the European game, apart from Onana.
Mandanda? Does Mandanda count?
He's French.
I
He's
mean,
French.
is he French though? I don't know. Where's he born?
Please,
I actually don't know. Where's he born?
yeah,
I
but
don't know.
he is part of the France national team. You
But I
can't
mean,
call
he's
him.
still is he not African though? Like,
No, he's
how
not.
does
He's
that
a
work?
French citizen. I'm talking
I
about
mean,
I'm talking about an out and out African goalkeeper. Edouard Mendy had 1 year under the sun, and then immediately the next year he was shipped to Saudi.
it was a pretty good year.
Yeah, but that's just 1 year. So that's what I'm trying to say.
Bonu. I think Bonu. Probably
Yeah,
Bonu.
but is he playing for a big club right now?
Isn't Sevilla not a big club? I
He's
mean,
not.
last year he went as a free
He's
agent to Saudi, right?
yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Has he played
I
for a
mean,
big club?
until last year he did.
Yeah, but again, that's what I'm saying. the instance of a bona fide African goalkeeper. So, now, when I say African, I mean African. All right, not your Mandanda example. How many African goalkeepers are at the top? Other like you say, the creme de la creme of the European football.
This guy is not creme de la creme either. He played in the bloody
best.
Italian. He played in the bloody Italian league. Let's not get ahead of ourselves.
And he was the reason why Inter made it in the Champions League in the first.
Are we going to
say
Lukaku's world class too now based on this?
He's not. He's not.
But Lukaku has the same plaudits as Onana, right? He did all the thing. They won the league. We gave him on loan.
Yeah, he was the reason they lost the Champions League.
Listen, but they had to get to the Champions League, right? Some people would say he got them to the Champions League.
No, but I believe that my personal opinion on the fact that why Onana talks so much is,
I think he should be quiet.
Yeah, he should be quiet. See, if you look at it from the other side, then yes, he should know when to speak and when to not. That is like a big.
That would be nice.
Yeah, that is like a prerequisite. You know, because especially when you're a United player, things tend to be taken out of context a lot. It does. You can.
No, it does. I was going to say it does, and then you top it with the fact that we haven't won anything in 10 years. You just sound like you sound like someone who's not been paying attention to what's going on currently. That's the real problem.
So I understand that, but then I still believe that he's going to have a great season, man.
There's only one goalkeeper that I would believe whatever talks he backs. That's Emiliano Martinez. And Emiliano Martinez actually talks. So whenever he says something, I'd be like, you know what? You've done enough. So we'll just let it slide, That's like you could say what you want. You can say what you want for the next 4 years, next World Cup. Till the next World Cup, you can say whatever you like. Because everyone says Messi's player of the tournament. I say no. I think Emiliano Martinez was the player of the tournament. Yeah. 2 penalty shootouts. You're the one who saves the penalties at the end of the day. You go through the next round.
That goal against that shot against Australia also.
Kolomuani.
Yeah, that too. But I think the shot that he saved against Australia is not talked about a lot, because that would eventually take that game to extra time. That was literally the last shot of the game.
Like I said, I thought Emiliano Martinez was player.
Yeah, and I'm talking about Martinez. I'm talking about Debo itself. Yeah. That save is not being talked about a lot, obviously, because of the shootouts and the Kolomuani save that he pulled off. But then,
Messi World Cup win finally. It's all the agenda.
Let's move from the goalkeeper discourse.
No, but I'm just saying, like, he's one person that I'm very okay with whatever he says.
The comment says like we've held this conversation more than Onana actually.
Fair enough. The FPL is in the code, by the way. Yeah. No, I guess we were talking about it because of Kovar, right? That's where we started. Yeah. So you don't think Kovar is coming back?
No, I don't think he does. No, I don't.
All right. Speaking of which, who do you think we're going to sign now? We've got what? We've got 3 weeks more, 3.5 weeks more. Who do you think we're going to sign? Let's.
I've aged 5 years, still hoping for the Delict and Mazraoui. Here we go. I've aged 5 years.
What are your thoughts on Obi Martin?
Excellent.
Where does he go though? He goes under 21 or under 18 straight?
Under 18s.
You think he goes under 18 straight away?
If he's good enough, he goes straight to the under 21s. But I'd rather just give him a season with the under 18s and then just go ahead.
Thank you, Ayush. The FPL code's in the description. Thank you.
But then I'm not exactly rating academy signings, because we've had a lot of them and not a lot of them have actually gone ahead and made waves, in the sense like we signed Fosu Mensah when he was actually very, very highly rated under Van Gaal. Then we bought in Hannibal and he's a borderline outcast himself. The only one who's actually made a name for himself was actually Garnacho, who we bought in from Atletico Madrid. That's about it. We had a lot of people sleep.
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
We have a lot of hopes on Jurado, who was from Madrid or Barca, I don't know. We bought in Jurado and Alvarez at the same time. One was from Madrid and one was from Barca, and neither of them stayed the lot. Neither of them stayed the course. So I'm not exactly, I'm not exactly optimistic on an academy signing. Like we bought in Charlie McNeil, right, from Man City, and even he's gone now. So
Yeah, but again, this is the problem, right? We don't actually play any of our youth. That's what we are known for. Like, why do we only play them in preseason? Then all our players get injured, and then we throw them to the wolves. Kampala, the only reason Kampala got a game is because everyone literally got injured. That's horrible. It's a horrible way to give someone their first cap at a football club. It's just
fun fact,
horrible.
Nate, Kamwara was also bought from Troyes.
Listen, listen. If they want to sell their talent, that's on them. I'm okay with taking anybody's talent. I
No,
don't
I'm
have a,
just, no, I'm just saying.
like.
I'm just saying.
I wanted Archie Gray. Spurs
Uh,
got him.
yeah, I think that he was from Brentford, right?
Leeds.
Leeds, all right. My bad.
No, I mean that's why we didn't get him. That's why I said Leeds like that.
But then I
You
will
know,
not forgive. I would not forgive Spurs for what they did with Jet Spence.
yeah, that was annoying. No, we could have got
They
him.
they
That was
ruined his career.
frustrating.
They've just ruined his career now. Absolutely, they've absolutely ruined his career.
Every
Neither,
club is
neither.
guilty of mismanaging players. That you can't avoid that. The thing is, right, that certain clubs have a our club has a reputation of pushing young players. And the only time we have pushed young players this season in particular, or the
It's
last two in
injury,
particular, is
injuries,
through injury, which is
injuries.
when Ten Hag said, I won't give them a cap just to give them a cap. I'll give them a cap when they're ready. That's not true. Literally gave Kamwala a cap because everyone was injured. That's a lie. That's an absolute lie. That is such a lie. Though that you say it with chest all the time. He said it this preseason. I won't just give people a cap for the sake of it. I'm like, bro, what are you talking about? You don't give them caps and then you throw them under the bus because everyone's injured. And then everyone goes, he's too young. He's not good enough. He's too young and he's not good enough because no one actually gives him game time to play. So how will he ever get better? That's like me telling you you're gonna be a Michelin star chef by just watching Master Chef Australia the whole time. That's stupid. Like you don't need to have quote unquote ball knowledge to know that's such a dumb thing to say. And everyone goes,
Yeah,
oh, but English is not his first language. I'm like, bro, don't say anything like Onana. Don't say anything. Just shut up. Don't say anything. Like don't say words. Just go and do the next question. Just don't say things that are going to get us in trouble because you say things that are just you do not follow on what you say all the time every week. Every week after the game, he was like, "Oh, we created good chances, but we couldn't finish them." I'm like, "Bro, we created 5 chances in 90 minutes. You say
I
we
think
created chances. Say the number of chances. We are on the bottom half of the Premier League for chances created. What are you on about? This is not anything to do with the defense. Because everyone, oh, we didn't have our centre backs fixed. I'm like, bro, the attack's not doing anything either. What are you on about? He just
I
and
get
he
it.
just con and he just constantly says these things in the press conference. Like, what are you doing, dude? Do you need a translator? Do the Bielsa thing. Just speak in Dutch and let
No,
someone translate it.
I think Bielsa does that on purpose.
I
He
don't
does
care.
know
You
to
know what?
he does know
You
to
know
speak
what?
English.
That's smart though. I would do that. I would speak in Hindi. So people were like, hey, this guy doesn't know English. You translate for him. And just say whatever. And then that guy just like filter it out, with words in English. I'm like, what are you doing, dude? You're making us look bad. Watch a Maguire interview, watch a Bruno interview. Bruno doesn't speak English, it's not his first language. Look at these people, look how they do interviews, no, and then you do the same thing, Onana and Eric Ten Hag. You do the exact same thing. You say words exactly the way they form words because English is not their first language, so you won't get in trouble, and you can say whatever you like. Just, and I was like, oh my god, and like Palomba and certain people, they were like, Dude, did you hear what Ten Hag said in the press conference? I'm like, bro, I don't want to know. Don't tell me, please. Just let the season end. I'm begging you. I don't want to know. Please, I don't want to know. I just don't want to know what they say in the press conferences anymore. I'm so checked out. I was so checked out by March. There were people like in the midnight matches. They're like, dude, what are you staying up to watch this for? Just go to bed.
I never watched a midnight match. I did not. The
So
only
I
so
watched
the
every
only
game.
Champions League game that I watched last United campaign was the 3-all.
That was probably the worst game to watch. If you were hoping for results, it was the
The
worst
three
game.
we 2-0 up in 10 minutes and then bottling it the way we did, yeah, leaves a bad taste.
A lot of people are saying half season. 80 conceded without risks. Man, I'm going to be finished next season. Oh my god. Wait a minute. Wait. He conceded 80 goals last season?
No, he's.
Oh no.
I think he did.
Oh my god. I forgot to count. I forgot to actually count how many goals. Oh no.
Yeah,
That can't be right.
I think we conceded.
Oh my
We conceded 58 in the Prem.
How is this guy? How is this guy talking like this, man? This is mad.
I think. Wait. Yeah, I think he did.
Lindelof is a year older. Maguire is a year older. Evans is a year older, and Euro is injured, and we have no Varane and no Kamwala, and he's talking like this yesterday. Oh my God, help me! Oh, I'm stressed now.
I'm still excited though. I'm still excited.
I'm really stressed now. I didn't realize that.
You shouldn't have that.
We conceded 80 goals. Oh no!
But that's all comps though.
Oh, who cares? Feel better. That means in every tournament we got battered. That means, oh God. Oh no, I'll sit on the bench and let Bayern then play. Oh God. Yeah, the memes have already started. There's no games that we play. The memes have already started. Oh God. Finally, a goalkeeper with. Oh. Man like Onana Bonu. Oh man. As we are speaking, Kovare 3 goals. They still have friendlies. Is friendly still going on in Germany?
Yeah, they start. They start next Sunday. I mean, this coming Sunday is the Bundesliga season.
So what do you think? Are you okay? You're going to be happy with just Mazraoui and Delict? Is that it?
See, that's two signings that we need. Like you said, we need another centre back. We need two ball playing centre backs. And with Euro gone, I think Delict will help that. And as we speak, Mazraoui is actually a much better profile of a right back than Van Bissaka.
And can play left back.
And can play left back, yes. That's the same thing with Dalot too. So we have two multifaceted fullbacks who can play on either side. And Mazraoui is like the perfect blend of an attacking and a defensive fullback. Like in the sense, he's not a slouch while defending as well, but he's an above average attacker too, and he knows how to cross the ball. So that helps. I think we need a midfield, a center defensive midfielder now. Whoever, at this point, I genuinely don't care. One wildcard name that I would like to put forward, which is a very interesting proposition, that could be is Frank Anguissa.
Zambo Anguissa, who played for Fulham before?
Yeah, and immediately the season after won the Serie A with Napoli. Yeah, it's not a bad shout. Even when Fulham got relegated, he was one of their best performing midfielders. And if you're looking for an absolute destroyer, like a proper number 6.
But Romano says Napoli is very, very difficult to deal with.
No, I'm just saying, I'm just putting a name out there. I'm not saying that it will happen. I'm just putting a name out there that this is someone that could potentially be a good one. Another one that I was, until last year, was hoping that he would be a United player was Sangare.
PSV, right?
who's currently at Nottingham Forest now.
PSV and then Nottingham Forest. Right?
Yeah, correct. Same guy.
Mhm.
So here's the thing: most of the CDMs who are actually your quintessential destroyers, who you want like to actually stop those plays, are African, and we don't tend to tap into that market a lot. Is what I'm saying. We tend to go
Interesting.
for your we tend to go for your quintessential English names, your European names. Now that is where Sanderberger comes into play, a Scandinavian who's European in fact by default. We don't look at these guys where N'Golo Conte was picked up from relative obscurity. Now you very subtly put in the fact that oh my god, no, that's dark Vedant, that's very dark.
Vedant does very dark things.
Yeah,
Don't
I
worry.
love I love dark humor Vedant, but that's too far, brother. That's too
I,
far.
you know what I do? I just don't read it because I know he's joking, but obviously, like
Yeah,
I just,
nah, bro,
he
nah.
actually, I know he purposely does it because I think he's trying to get me out, and it never works normally. So I just let him. Like even like I don't know if you were reading like a bunch of them said, "Oh, welcome back. We miss your dark jokes." I'm like, yeah.
No, but there are a few very underrated CDMs. I'm not. There is another defender that we could look at, and that's Maxence Lacroix, who currently plays for Wolfsburg in the Bundesliga.
Didn't he play for Lens before
I think he did.
from the
No, he
French
played
league,
for
right?
he played from Lorient. He played for Lorient,
Lorient.
not
Yeah,
Lens.
and I know who you're talking about. I know who you're
Yeah.
Lacroix,
So
yeah.
that's another good defender that we can target. So the options are there if we choose to look at them. If we,
Yeah,
like you
but
said,
this see,
none
but
of
so who gets the blame for this, Delwyn? Let's get to it, right? You said the exact words I was thinking in my head. Who gets the blame for the fact that we aren't moving on quickly with 21 days left?
it's a holistic. It's I think you. It's a holistic situation where not one particular party is to blame here, right? And there is a little bit of the blame has to be put on the manager. A little bit of the blame has to be put on the recruitment team. A little bit has to be the powers that be. All right, these guys. So there is a little bit of blame that you have to put on everyone. All right, like this, there is this quintessential play. You can't clap with one hand. All right, so it's like a full circle sort of thing where there's not one culprit.
So
We've our lackluster wage structure under the Glazers is biting us in the ass because of the fact that we are not able to offload some players that we desperately want to offload. And for the first time in a generation, we are willing sellers in the market. It's not like we don't want to sell our players. We want to sell them. We've tried every which way to sell those players. But again, it's the wages that are the stumbling block here.
but
So
actually we got the money we are asking for last season for Maguire and McTominay, and we didn't sell them.
Maguire, here's the thing. Maguire rejected the deal. The clubs had an agreement. Maguire rejected the
I
term.
thought
No.
Maguire didn't reject
Maguire,
the deal. Maguire said pay my wages
no,
and I'll go.
no. Maguire rejected the terms, the personal terms that we speak about between the player and the buying club. Maguire rejected those terms.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He wanted United to pay the remainder of his wages and he'd leave. That's what I'm saying because he
West
didn't want
Ham,
to take the cut wages.
West Ham wanted that, not Maguire.
Interesting.
So West Ham and United had a deal done for 30 or 35 million, whatever the price was. When it came to the personal terms between the player and West Ham, Maguire said that I'm not taking a salary cut. I want the money that I'm paid at United. So that is where West Ham said, like, hey, listen, we are not paying the salary that you're paying him. We want you to pay part of the salary, even though he is going to be on our books. So indirectly, it was Maguire who rejected, and that led to a proper
I mean, we
cascade.
could have still sold McTominay. Ten Hag said he wanted him.
Ten Hag wanted to sell him too, but again,
Yeah,
Newcastle didn't come with a substantial offer.
I'm
And
pretty
then,
sure. No, it was West Ham. West Ham wanted both of them.
no, Newcastle and Fulham were the interested
No,
parties for McTominay.
I think Fulham is this season. I think last season it was West
Fulham
Ham.
were
They
last,
wanted both.
Fulham was last season also. So what happened is it was Palinia goes to Bayern, McTominay goes to Fulham at deadline day. All right. So what happened is because the Bundesliga deadline day ends earlier than the Premier League, the Palinia deal fell through. So Bayern weren't able to sign him last year. And that is why Palinia stayed, and that is why McTominay couldn't go to Fulham. So both the deals would have done none of them actually. From a style, if see, it depends on what style Ten Hag wants to play. And as United fans, both of us, we're not seeing the exact style that he wants to play. So
But both those people in question, one spent most of the days on the bench, and the other one played only because everyone got injured. We didn't need them. This is before everyone got. Yeah, Maguire and McTominay, right?
No. I'm talking about the comment.
Oh, sorry. Okay, sorry. Okay, yeah. Arnold, welcome to the channel. Who's better for United, Ugarte or FDJ? Bro, I'm telling you right now, I would take Ugarte. I can't deal with this Barcelona thing anymore.
I actually like the guy.
I don't care.
I'm talking about Ugarte. I'm not talking about FDJ.
Oh, I honestly don't care. I just want a player. Whoever's their name now, it's got into that point for me. Like,
so I'm just kind of. I actually already used to like him when he was in Sporting. All right, he had an absolute masterclass of a performance against Arsenal in the Europa League when they beat them on pens. All right, he was one of their best players on the field. But the reason why he gets brownie points for me is because he called Rodrigo De Paul Messi's cocksucker in a match with action and with chest. All right, so I rate him for. I rate him.
It's not the kind of trash talking I enjoy. But
see, you need to have a certain level of a character in the side, and that's
I'd prefer if the characters after the performance. I'm just going to say that the whole time.
Everything. No, I absolutely am standing 10 toes down and saying that that performances are everything. Like, it's your bread and butter, and even as fans, we will judge you basically on performances. But then, for the lack of characters that we've had, and that is like
good night.
And that is like a glaring lack of characters. I think we benefit with someone like Ugarte there.
I'm just reading. I'm just reading it because we're talking about that stuff.
Shut your fucking mouth, Vedant. I'm just kidding, Vedant. Alright, I'm sorry. I'm just kidding.
How are United going to deal with the defense for 3 months?
With a rosary on their necks or whatever god they believe in.
Dude, after reading this and then this question, though, it's like,
time to go on this.
I'm just genuinely like, you can really ask Twalomba, because Twalomba was so fed up with how positive I was the entire season. Like, I've like, the whole tank has been emptied after United and England. Like, genuinely, the whole tank's emptied.
Like, time to stock up on Percocets and Adderall. With the statements that Onana has put in the way.
Like, this guy, man. Like, he's already become insufferable to me, dude. He's only been here for 2 seasons, man. Like, he's already like, I'm like, dude, you don't have the same energy, man. Like, it doesn't work like this. You have to have the same energy, and then these words mean something. It's like, remember when who was it? Matthias de Ligt did the whole Johan Cruyff. We play in front of Johan Cruyff after that. Bro, he bounced it. He's now trying to look for his 3rd team in 5 years. Bro, go back and watch go back and play under Johan Cruyff's shadow, bro. Because it's not. Things aren't happening the way you said things are happening. Like, when you say things with chest, bro, people are going to remember this shit. You can't just like.
He said that ahead of the Europa final, right? When he played us.
He said it basically after they won the league, right? They had that big legendary Madrid win and all that. They did the whole thing, and then he says this thing like with chest, and I'm like, bro, like, and there were fans who are like, damn, man, we need a centre back. Like, look, we got Maguire and Lindelof.
he said this. He quoted Cruyff before the Europa final as well when he was playing us.
Oh,
That in the
I'm
16
talking about
17.
his. I'm talking about the victory ceremony. You know how they do that thing, right? Like a trophy thing. Everyone does it in Europe. So
Oh, okay, okay.
yeah, he did that whole. We played under Johan Cruyff, and we got the power. I'm like, bro, shut up, man. What are you on about? Power of Johan Cruyff, dude. You bounce between. Almost all of y'all aren't relevant anymore in in football at the moment. That whole team that was
Last
great.
last I heard, Anthony Martial is
Gonna
rumored
France,
to
right?
be joining Atalanta because
Ooh, I
because
like that.
Kamaka's out for 9 months
I
with an
guess
ACL tear.
I read that. Yeah.
Yeah, so they are looking to get in Martial on board, is what I heard. Before that, I think it was Bologna that were interested in Martial. So now it's another Italian club itself.
Look at this. Another
Another
vacation.
vacation.
Oh. So Lanky to Spurs.
Yeah, 50
I
million. It's not
I
done.
heard
It's not done.
I
It's not
I
done.
heard that they wanted Tony, which would have been really
Wait,
crazy because
LJ is a Liverpool fan. Wait,
yeah,
Zubimendi is
yeah,
done.
yeah. What? Really?
Is he?
Wow. Oh, that's just great, isn't it?
No, no, I'm just checking.
Sanderberg,
I don't think it's done.
Sanderberger, it is. It's just how it is today. It's just the shots are rolling. We're taking a lot of L's these days, so you
No,
might
bro,
as well
I
just
don't think.
continue.
No, no, no. It isn't done. Neither Fab nor Oni have reported it. No, it's not done. Even he's saying it. It's not done. But
Okay.
one thing I've noticed is when Paul Joyce, who's a very reputed Liverpool journo, tweets anything about Liverpool's interest in a particular player, 9 out of 10 times they get it done.
Listen, they haven't spent much money, man. This clause should be very gettable for Liverpool this season.
Zubimendi has a clause.
Yeah.
Oh,
What do you think? What do you think I was telling you? I'm like, we don't have money to sign him. That's why I was saying that.
But because he's rejected multiple clubs.
He has a 60 million euro release clause into his contract.
But he's rejected clubs is what I'm saying.
So, as far as I know, maybe he's rejected it personally. Maybe he's looking for a particular club. But as far as the money is concerned, it's 60 million euros, which is 52 million pounds, which we could easily put in. We could have easily put in.
Like LJ said, that's how a release clause is paid. You don't pay installments on a release clause.
Yeah. That's why we don't have the money. That's what I'm saying. We don't have the money.
And that is why we did not we did not pay the release clause for Zirkzee too. Yeah.
I mean, if we don't have 34 million pounds, you think we have 52? I mean,
fair enough.
I mean, listen, man, Sanderberger, I guess it is, and I'm not excited, but at this point of time, it's like I'll take anything.
He had great underlying numbers, Nate. Like,
no, I'm very happy. I think we should have got him when Ole wanted him, but like now it's like 4 years later.
Last season when they were in the club, like when they were in the Prem. So Rodri obviously was the top in terms of pass percentage and pass completion, all that jazz like that. Sanderberger was second in pass completion.
No, I don't have a problem with him per se. I don't think a lot of the people have a problem with him and say per se. Delwyn, I think the real problem is the fact that we have just not already signed someone by now. Like the whole reason we got the whole I think that is the real thing. I think even if tomorrow we sign somebody that's a professional level, not like a youngster, I think we'll automatically feel better.
I am not a fan of B-Tech Timothy Chalamet. I'm sorry. I don't want him at my club.
Wait, who's that?
The tall French guy, Adrien Rabiot, aka B-Tech Timothy Chalamet.
Oh Jesus, no thank you. I can't deal with more petulant French people anymore, man.
And his mother.
This is a great question. Sorry to cut you off. I believe Arnold is a United fan, but this is a great question. Sorry, you were saying, Delwyn?
His mother is even more petulant than him.
I know. I thought you were talking about the 30. I was going to
Yeah,
say
but they
that,
will.
but
They will
what you were
obviously
talking
be
about.
hyped. They will. They will. As long as Ange is the manager, they will be hyped. Just because he says mate a lot in press conferences.
Yeah, okay. My answer is going to be a lot different than that, but yeah, I think they are going to be hyped because I think this is the season we are going to tell if he is going to be cut out for the Premier League or not. Because if he gets the money from selling Richarlison to Saudi, which apparently is a thing, I don't know if it's going to happen or not. But if that happens, and he still has more money incoming to buy more players, Mikey Moore, Archie Gray, now Dominic Solanke. Why wouldn't you be excited? I mean I would be excited. A bunch of youth players that he might actually play instead of put on a bench. I would be excited for it. See, at the end of the day, it's Spurs. I know we like to go it's only Spurs, but I would the only thing I would say to that is Spurs finished above us. So I'm gonna keep that behavior to myself this season because at the end of the day, Spurs had a better season than us. So we'll see what happens there. Yes, we
Even
won the FA Cup, but
even without a trophy, you say that?
yeah, I mean, listen, dude, we had 80 goals and we won an FA Cup final and we performed piss poor everywhere else. Let's not pretend. Like I mean, you want to say the trophy is better. Trophy is better, but I'm talking about in terms of excitement of what to expect from the team. I think they should be hyped, and do think they had a better season based on performances. So, um, does that mean they're going to win a trophy? History says no, but that does not mean they're not going to be hyped and perform excitingly, which is, I believe, what the question was. So I am going to say yes. Do they win anything? Probably not. Could they finish above us? I'm
No,
not gonna
I
lie,
don't
man.
think so. I don't
I'm
think
not
so.
gonna lie. As it currently looks, I wouldn't be that surprised, man. As it currently stands, uh, I really wouldn't be that surprised, honestly. Um, you know what? We will end this here. We will do many more. Someone asked if Delwyn's free to do more, maybe match reactions. If you want to come join us for a match and all in the future, yes, Delwyn's very free to join if he has time. Obviously, not quite sure what his schedule is, but if he's more than welcome to
Ah, but
join.
this was a great first time. Thank you for making me feel so comfortable.
See, man,
You as
we
you
come here and
as
chill, dude.
yeah,
Come here and chill.
you as well as the entire stream. So it was great.
It's it's the
Yeah,
going it's the going in me. That's why they love me, dude. It's the
yeah.
going in me. I was just laid
Yeah.
back and relaxed.
I
Everyone
think
wants to get like hyped up and like,
yeah, I think the Mangalorian and me did a pretty good. You had a pretty good debut.
yeah, I mean, listen, man, we have very similar cultures. I mean, I don't know if people know that, but we have pretty
Yeah, fair
similar
enough.
cultures. I
Yeah,
mean,
exactly.
so yeah, I mean, as I was saying, we will end it here, guys. We've gone for almost 2.5 hours. I'm sure Delvin has things to do, like probably sleep.
No,
But
no, I actually want to watch Mirabai Chanu, the weightlifting.
good luck, buddy. This is the longest I've been live for a long time now. I'm gonna go take a nap.
Yeah, yeah,
Uh,
sure, man. Take care.
but I will ask you a question before we go.
Yeah.
Simple, very simple one. Where do you think we finish, and what do you think we win, or do we win anything? Better question. Better way of putting
Hmm. Interesting question. So I think we finished top four. Top four, yes. And I've already given a very unpopular prediction with the fact that Onana wins Golden Glove.
it. 80
Uh,
goals. You didn't know that. You said that before that. Even after
yeah,
that, you're saying that.
yeah. I'll see if I've said something, then I have to stand.
No,
I have to stand on
but
business.
no,
I have
no, no.
to.
I mean, yeah, you have to, but like even you didn't know he conceded 80 goals, dude. I wouldn't blame you if you changed your mind because even I didn't know he conceded 80 goals, and
I
I
knew he
reacted
conceded.
that
See,
way.
I
I,
knew.
I
I knew he
reacted that way
conceded.
before.
I knew he conceded 60 plus, but I did not know it was 80.
Bro, what else? I have no words. I have no words. What else?
Yeah.
What
So
else is there?
so we finished top four. We finished top four. I think we win Europa this year and make a deep cup run one of the two.
Okay. So deep cup run, win Europa League, and finish top four. Any specific position you want to call out in advance? This is the
Third or
best part
fourth.
about this.
Third,
Third or
third or
fourth.
fourth. Third or fourth.
Onana and Nathan, better love story than many. LJ, I'm sure, I don't know if you've read what he said on ESPN, but it's going to be long for me, man. It's going to be a long one for me. I already know it. Plus, having no Europe becomes the biggest walk. Yeah, the swap is a Spurs fan, Jensen's an Arsenal fan. I don't need to explain that one to you, I'm sure.
Yeah,
I will let them in. I'll let them enjoy that, whatever's going on over there. The nice thing about here is it's a free for all. As long as we don't talk about Onana, it's a free for all. Everyone can say whatever they want to each other. It's a
we
good
can
time.
talk. We can talk about the other Onana some other time.
I mean, that Onana, I would have taken. A lot of people say they don't rate him. I would have taken him too. I mean, Aston Villa, I've balled. Aston Villa and West Ham are actually worrying me with the kind of signings they've made.
I still don't understand why they sold Musa Diaby though. I don't get that sale.
Money, to they were getting a lot of money for it.
But they had the Champions League revenue, and plus he was their record signing.
But I think that money just adds on to what they are going to get if they get cheap alternatives, right? They get more incomings at the end of the day.
If they have a backup who's perpetually injured in Leon Bailey, I don't think selling Musa Diaby was such a good idea.
I mean, technically he's not injured right now. He's enjoying some rum and cokes with expressions in America, but man, it's a good time.
Leon Bailey.
Leon Bailey, you didn't see the pictures? Expressions put up pictures with him and Leon Bailey. I love expressions, man. He's legend.
Yeah.
83 to be precise. Thank you, Vedant.
Shakespeare's been awfully quiet ever since Expression speaks.
He's a good time. Sloth era has begun before ET era starts and Klopp era comes in. Bro, listen, you know what? I'm just going to end with an ominous thing. I feel that Eric Ten Hag might be set up this season. Just a feeling.
Set up in the good way or a bad way?
No, set up in a very bad way. Very bad way. I have a feeling he's being set up a little bit. I'm not going to lie. It's just a feeling I have, but I feel like he's being set up a little bit. I feel like it started really well. He was like, "Yay, look at me! Everyone's in Manchester, warming up, getting ready for the season." Comes back, nothing is done. Seems like a setup a little bit. Third match itself, we'll see, LJ. We'll see. I'm not that confident, man. I don't know.
The last time Liverpool played United at Old Trafford on the third match day, I think we know what happened.
Listen, I'm not doing any of that, Delwyn. I'm not doing any of that. I'm just gonna watch.
This was an unprovoked attack. We did not banter. It was.
No. I don't think it's. I don't think it's an unprovoked attack. I think LJ has listened to us. Basically, think we are going to have a good season. And I think a lot of United fans started that way, but I think as the transfer window is closing, it's becoming a little more darker.
We still lost to Liverpool.
I actually read this earlier. No. I read that earlier in our conversation, and someone said that. So then, just before leaving, I was like, you know what? I'll just say this.
Yeah, there's a reason. There is a reason why Rude rejected Burnley to be their manager and come here to be an assistant manager. And it's not just to be a number two. And it's not because of the fact that Van de Graaff and Steve McLaren have left.
You know what? We're going to find out. That's all you can say. We're going to find out.
Some way or another, we will. What's with the sticking with these businesses? Like this is like a proper, well-planned. But if things are the way we are speaking or where we are assuming it to be, this is like a well-thought-out succession plan. So just in case, like how Nate says that ETH has been set up bad, and on the off chance, if those assumptions do come true, we don't have to look into the managerial market to pick out a manager. We have one right there. And I think those increased interactions that Rude is having with the players, whether it's Scott or whether it's taking Rashford to the side in the middle of the game, I don't think many of the number twos in the Premier League or anywhere across Europe do it so freely like the way Rude did in preseason.
Yeah, I mean, we'll find out. Exactly. To answer Jayesh's question, Jayesh, probably the Community Shield, which is on the weekend, Saturday, 6:30. Unless I can fit in another state of affairs for another team, not ours. So I'll see if I can get a guest. Otherwise, next week we'll do Premier League predictions, which went horribly for me last season. We'll do some state of affairs, and then next thing you know, the season begins. Then we'll do Premier League watch-alongs, Champions League watch-alongs, Europa League watch-alongs. Who knows? We might do some Barcelona watch-alongs. Don't know. I don't know if everyone's ready for me to pretend like I know Spanish football. That will be fun. So yeah, it's a vibe here, man. It's a vibe here. We just chill, come hang out. Like, I can't believe people came and joined me for the 5 o'clock match. And some of them weren't even United or Liverpool fans. It's just sitting here, just vibing. Like, it's a good. I feel blessed. Yeah, I feel blessed. It's good. Hopefully, we
I
grow
just read
much
a
more.
comment that said Gunther and Liv Morgan. So do we have WWE fans here as well?
Yeah, WWE fans. Yeah, people were screaming at me, going, "Why are you watching this stupid friendly when you can watch SummerSlam live?"
SummerSlam.
And
Yeah, I actually
that's a
enjoyed
good point,
SummerSlam.
dude.
I
That's a
enjoyed
good point.
SummerSlam.
I enjoyed. I watched the repeat like an hour
Yeah,
later, like at
yeah,
nine
I
o'clock
did.
in the morning. But yeah, Mudit has a big crush on Liv Morgan. I don't see it really, but it's personal choice. I like to call it.
I like my mommy on top.
Thank you, Delwyn. I don't know. They don't get it, dude. They don't get it. People in the chat know I love Rhea Ripley, but it is what it is. Man, I want to discuss some UFC. You know what, Jayesh? Hopefully, fingers crossed, I can get Sadik on. We can talk some UFC. He's been really busy, but even I want to
If
do that.
if you do want to talk about WWE, then
Yeah, we'll do some WWE watch longs, man. Let's see if you
I
get up that early.
I put my ones up in the air.
Oh, when the music hit, dude. Woo.
Yes.
When the music hit.
I do the acknowledge me gig here at home. Sadly, it doesn't turn out the way Roman does it.
To acknowledge me, and everyone's like, "What the? Sit down, you donkey." That UFC 308 card. We are doing previews. We're doing everything, Josh. There's going to be much more content. This
Yeah,
season,
that's going to be a great fight though. Izzy Enriquez.
Hopefully.
I think it's
Hopefully.
going to be a great fight. I'm not sure who's going to win. I don't.
I know. I actually do know who's going to win, but I mean,
thanks.
you never know
Thanks,
who's going to
Jensen.
win. You
Thanks,
never know
Jensen.
who's going to win.
Fun. It was fun being a part of this community as well. It's nice to meet you too.
Just vibing out, yeah, man. You know what? We actually have an Ipswich Arsenal fan, and we have a Portsmouth fan, and they just come and they say hello. They're both based in England, and they just come and say hello, and they leave.
Oh, that's nice.
It's cool, man. It's cool. He gives me like Portsmouth updates, and like they're getting promoted to the championship. I actually hope Portsmouth come back to the Premier League. I used to watch back when
they were like, yeah, when
David Nugent,
when Redknapp was the manager. I think Crouch and Defo played for them. Played for Portsmouth as well at the same time.
David Nugent is one of the best strikers you have ever seen. That was horrible in the Premier League. Yeah. He was absolutely lights out every season. He'd play in the Champions League championship for whoever. He'd come up and he just couldn't cut it.
You could say the same thing for Dwight Gale in modern times.
Dwight Gale.
It was the same accusation was levied at Mitrovic until he balled the fuck
out. The guy Liverpool bought, the tall guy, Charlie Austin. Charlie Austin also was.
Yeah. No, but Charlie Austin had 2 good seasons with QPR in the Premier.
No, I'm saying that he was really good in the championship, and then he kept going back.
Yeah, but he actually had good seasons in the Prem too. Yeah.
He did good. Hold on, before we go, what was this? I hope Kamzat doesn't pull out this. Oh god, I don't know why I laughed at that one, but yeah, hopefully.
The moment I hear Kamzat, it's just that song that comes to mind.
Bro, I'm telling you, he could have been a double champ already. He just bad luck with the COVID thing. He would have been an easy double champ for sure.
Yeah,
I'm telling you,
absolutely,
easily. But that's the luck you have, man. Sometimes,
All the Dagestan guys are actually expert grapplers. Like except
that Shara Bullet guy. You saw him too last week in Dubai. Oh, he is ass.
No, not really.
I've never seen a guy from Dagestan know zero wrestling. Zero.
That's a surprise. That's a huge surprise. That's a huge surprise.
Does he not? I can't even say he doesn't know he doesn't know wrestling. I can say he doesn't know how to wrestle. It's that bad. His takedown defense is that bad. Like, sub UFC guys that will face the next guy and get absolutely obliterated are taking him down. He's going to decisions. It's crazy. You think Kabzat becomes a
Beats
uh,
Whittaker.
this is a tough
Oh
one.
my god, no, 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 no. So what is happening right now is while I desperately want to watch Mirabai, the 200-meter men's semis is going on right now, and I want to watch Noah Lyles run as well.
Take care, buddy. We'll be out. I'll just answer these questions and then I'll bounce as well.
Yeah.
Enjoy.
Anyways, man, Nate, thank you so
See
much
you.
for having me on
No
stream.
problem,
It was
buddy.
fun. Yeah,
I'll see you. Take care.
and like yeah, hit me up
Sure.
whenever you feel like you'd like me in, and we kick it off from there. We set something up then.
Yeah, don't worry. I'll scream at you about Onana after the
Yeah.
Fulham
By the
game.
way, so there is Justin. I'm sorry if I can promote my channel here.
Sure, sure.
There's a channel that I run with some of my friends. It's called Sports with Sardarji and Friends, where we speak about a lot of sports. We did a lot of Olympic watch-alongs also, and we all of them are exclusively United fans, all of us. So we speak about football, we speak about basketball, we speak about a lot of sports. So do like and subscribe to the content that we put out on our channel. The channel's name is Sports with Sardarji and Friends with a Z. Sports with a Z. So do go ahead and check us out.
And you also cover Delhi Daredevils. Sorry,
Delhi
Delhi
Capitals,
Capitals.
Delhi Capitals in the IPL. I am a Mumbai Indians fan, but
Yeah,
yeah,
can I tell you,
it
there's
is what
nothing
it
that
is.
gives me more joy than watching Delhi lose. There's just
Yeah,
nothing.
it doesn't matter to me, bro. I'm a Mumbai Indians fan. That's the
No, no,
issue here.
I'm just saying we were doing the IPL thing now. Like every time Delhi Capitals lost, I was like, oh nice.
Jensen, I'd give you another name. So instead of calling him Impostacoglu, you can call him Anje Postanoglu. So
Well, you know
that's
what? You're going to pay for that if Spurs finish above us because I am not saying that.
yeah.
This
I'm
is
just giving.
I'm,
I'm
I'm,
just helping. I'm helping
I'm being
Jensen with his ammo here. He's
I'm being
actually
very
having a
careful.
war
I'm
of
being very
words.
careful with my words during the 24-25 season. That's the lesson I've learned. I'm not going to go too crazy this season on purpose just to see if it works out for me. But yes, thank you so much, Delvin, and I'll see you soon for another one. Hopefully soon.
Sure,
I don't.
definitely.
You'll have to kind of tell me what your timings are, and then we can figure something out.
This time around, this time that we did the stream around, most of the time it's pretty much
Okay.
open.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Because we have people watching like from England and Russia, and
Yeah,
I'm
sure.
I'm trying to make it at a time where like everybody's free, so everyone doesn't miss the
Yeah,
stream.
so
My the regulars don't miss the stream. So yeah, that's the thing.
so this time is like open season.
Oh, perfect, excellent.
Yeah.
Early predictions for 308. I'll answer those, Jayesh, because Delvin wants to go. I'll
Yeah,
stay
all right.
couple more minutes. I'll answer some
See
of
you
the questions in
guys.
the beginning.
Take care, and hopefully
Take
I see you
care.
guys soon. Bye.
Take care. Take care. Thank you for joining in. I will answer your questions. Just I'll quickly answer Danish. Because Danish asked me FC24. It's going badly. I'm only playing for champs. I have finished my season progress, Danish, completely. So I have Haaland, I have Garincha. Garincha is fun. Haaland doesn't really suit the way I play FC24. But if you like hitting crosses, Haaland is absolutely top notch. 99 Haaland is fantastic. UFC 308. Okay, let's do this. I also miss talking about UFC, if I'm being very honest. How far down you want to go, Jayesh? Are we doing the whole card? How much of the card are we doing? Please let me know. If you want to do the whole card, we do the whole card. There's a very interesting fight right at the beginning of the card, funny enough. I just unlocked Banmati. Do I have enough time? Banmati is what? Level 32? Possibly. You possibly have enough time. Try to at least get to Garincha, dude. Try to at least get Garincha, even if you don't want Haaland. That's up to you. Okay, let's go. So Rinat Fakhratinov, Nur Sultan, Ruziboev. I think Fakhratinov is fantastic. He's 22-1. He just came off a finish of Kevin Lee. I don't need this anymore. I'll take this out. He just came off a finish of Kevin Lee, who came signed back to the UFC, and I think he's a very well-rounded fighter, and he has very damaging ground and pound. And I think this Nursultan Ruziboyev is kind of feeder for him because I think they're trying to push Fakhretinov quickly. I think he's probably going to get a ranked opponent if he gets to Ruziboyev after one fight. What do you think? Fakhretinov is a very dangerous fighter. Yeah, that's what I think. Got some good players from Pack 97. Peter Check. I got him. I'm playing with him actually right now.